All right. We are live and in person. Did
What's
you
up,
see
guys?
that shit?
Holy shit!
Season 7 has started. 6 more weeks and it's over.
Man.
Can everybody hear us? Can everybody hear us okay? Before we get started, make sure we're good on the microphone. Microphone check.
All right. I finally got in.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I can't. Apparently YouTube is broken.
Yes, it is.
Now we got almost 900 people already and we haven't even started talking yet. Outstanding.
We have a lot to talk about.
Everybody's here. We do. Good God Almighty. This episode, first off, before we get started, really quick, let me thank John Burns and Jim Gower for PayPal donations earlier. That was actually earlier during the stream that was promised with Tony Teflon of Val and Rorist and History of Westeros, as well as Field the Issues guys. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, this was, let's just kick right into it. This was badass. This was different. It had a darker, grittier feel,
Didn't it though?
So
And it got right down
into it. Exactly what I said earlier. I did not want him to start with you know, like what happened last year, kind of a recap episode. We didn't need to see that shit. It got straight into it. So hello everybody, Lava Dog, Amanda King, Sai, Kimberly, Superjoint Johnson, AKL, 0993,
Were there
JYT.
any Proto-Starks in that episode?
I didn't see any Proto-Starks. There's Carol, the Supermod,
Yes,
Jose,
indeed.
Cristobal, Amanda Stewart.
Amanda Stewart, what's up?
Andy Perkins, Time Machine. Good God, we are over 1,000 people, well over 1,000 people, and the chat is flying. Hoonjob, I see Hoonjob, Skyways, Hannibal.
Hoon, what's up?
Jay Soto, Ethan Hunt, there he is. Angelo, Catherine Bassett, Matt Gio, son, Bo Chambers, Chris C, Ian Robertson. Hello, Jeff Preston, everyone, awesome. 10,000. We got 1,200 people watching now. Outstanding.
Sweet, daddy.
This is definitely a record. So, yeah, guys, let's jump right in. This was badass. The first thing, let me just say that what stood out to me the most.
Go for it.
The Hound reading the flames.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Talking about an ironic thing with the Hound.
We kept looking at each other and looking at the screen. It was like, wow.
Yes. Did you see that? He's actually the guy who got his face burnt. Is now looking in flames with Thoros of Myr and seeing the wall and Eastwatch by the Sea and the dead army.
Yeah, walking right through.
Holy shit, that was really cool how they
Thousands of
tied
them,
in
he
Arya. Really cool how they tied in Arya with, yes, we just started, saw that flyby. Got 1,300 people watching, awesome. No, I'm sorry, 1,433. It just keeps on flying up. But yes, I really liked how they tied in the Arya storyline along with the Hounds, and he went back to the same place where they ate the rabbit stew.
That was so cool.
That was cool as hell.
And he felt bad. You know,
yes,
you could tell.
He buried them and everything.
He has a
and he
heart
said
for
this,
sure.
and this will definitely go in the foreshadowing series because now we see the payoff. He said, by winter they will be dead to Arya. Like 2 seasons ago. So
that was crazy when you reminded me of that.
Wow. I don't know where do we even begin. Let's begin with the beginning. How about that? How about that damn Arya Walder Frey scene? As soon as it came on,
you know,
and I saw
loved it,
him.
guys.
I was like, he's dead. We know who that is. They
Gotta
jumped
be.
right into it. There was no filler.
It's Jonestown.
Right into it and had a Red Wedding 2.0 and dropped every damn one of them.
Except the girl.
Except the girl to tell.
To be the one to tell.
Tell him, tell everybody you talk to, winter has came for the phrase.
God,
the North
yes.
remembers.
The North remembers. That was so cool.
Yes, Stephen Hart,
Oh,
White
I know,
Giants. We saw
yes.
3 White Giants. And yes, I know some people has already asked me on social media about the cat's paw.
Oh, have they already?
I already saw. I already saw some
that down.
questions. Yes, absolutely. And I gotta say, man, in that little series we did before called "A Dragon Raised by Wolves," we called that. We did call that.
I'm telling you,
that thing would come back into the story, and that they showed that page for a while. So that wasn't like an incidental thing. That was the exact same blade.
We nailed it, dude.
So it's ancient.
I mean, we didn't know what it was going to be. We said it's very significant. It's going to come back
should
around,
come back in
guys.
the story, yes, absolutely. And so I was glad to see that. And so that book was called Legends of the Long Night, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So yeah, it was cool to see that little maybe, yeah, it may have been Michelle said it may have been an Easter egg. Yeah, it could have been, but if it's in a book that old,
right,
then it could be very, very important. And we had said that before, that we thought that that could be the blade. It's, you know, everybody's thinking about all these long swords,
exactly,
Valyrian steel swords. Nobody really thought about the dagger being important, so that could come into the end game of this thing.
Right, size doesn't matter. Tyrion is telling us that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, YouTube, by the way, guys, has been broke. Apparently, from what I saw earlier, somebody tweeted, I believe it was Ion Tron, who's the king of retweets, said that YouTube, that possibly Game of Thrones has broke the subscription tab, and mine is broke. You cannot see anything in your subscription tab unless it's fixed now. I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't.
He was actually just trying to upload a little thing to his channel. That's going to be, I think, an intro.
Yeah,
and
little trailer.
Couldn't upload it. Can't upload it. So I'm glad we have no streaming problems. We should be good to go here. 1,805 people. 40 people, I'm sorry. Wow, awesome. So,
thanks for hanging out with us, guys.
Yeah, Anna Can Girl says mine is blocked. So, yeah, no subscriptions. Everybody's broke. Pete says theirs is broke.
Wow.
Carol, I will, let me do that, Carol. I'll get to that in just a second. Let me go to the Streamlabs tab. Sorry, guys, we were not quite prepared. But yeah, so overall, I know I'll try to think of something bad, something nitpicky, because you have to say something bad about it.
No, I was pissed Danny only had one line.
Yeah, but I think I kind of like that. You felt the emotion.
Oh,
it was kind of like last year
Absolutely.
during the Sept of Baelor scene, only music. People, that's a big deal right there. People have been waiting 25 years.
That's crazy.
For her to come to Westeros and come home. That was pretty badass to see that. I thought we might get the Melisandre piece there, like she's watching, but that makes more sense that it was probably her watching Jon come up the stairs later on. Thank you for subscribing, Madeline. Yes, everybody, please subscribe and all that good stuff.
I gotta say, Euron's
give this video a like.
Was awesome.
Yes, I was going to say that too. To get into Euron a little bit, I liked the way he portrayed Euron. This was more book Euron-ish to me. It was more of he's a psychopath and he just don't give a fuck, and he's different with everybody he's around. That I like the way he did Euron this time.
Right.
I mean, maybe it was just because he's around Cersei, and it started to work on her.
It did.
She absolutely started to smile a little bit. So Jamie, you can see that split going right there in the beginning. So yeah, they moved fast. They're moving fast. A lot of time has passed. I think the Sam thing showed that in the Citadel. You know, he was dumping chamber pots and, and puking.
Oh, bless his heart.
That was an awesome little scene to show just how long he's been working there. So so some time has passed for sure already in this first episode. Yes, Ashley, we were just talking about the cat's paw dagger. Definitely called that. We think it's going to come into the end game.
Oh, yeah, damn.
So let's see. We saw a couple super chats come in already. Wow, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Janie Blakely, I'm sorry. Thank you for the donation, but I do not see a question. Janie, and chat disconnected. Is that going to be a problem? Also, Janie, if you have a question, please try to retype that and get it to a moderator. Danette Pagel, or Pat, is that Pagel?
I think Pagel, yeah. Danette
only after show to watch. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Danette.
Anything digital also, thank you. Why was Arya going south when she told Jack and Hagar she was going home? Was Sansa just baiting Littlefinger to eventually take the veil from him? And Jorah, OMG.
I know.
Yes, Arya told Jack and she was going home, but obviously she is going to follow through on her now. At least she plans on to collect all this on her list and get Cersei. So I don't think she'll make it there, but she's obviously has that plan. And I definitely think Littlefinger. I got the sense of that Littlefinger is going to be played. For sure. Peach also, thank you, Peach.
Thank you.
Where are the soldiers with the Arya Lannister? Where the soldier with Arya Lannister soldiers? Yes, they seem to be, because they mentioned there were some problems with the Freys, and the Lannisters were their only ally essentially. So they look to be Lannister soldiers, and we did see Ed Sheeran there singing a song, which obviously that makes sense. At least he just wasn't some random singer or something. He actually put on some armor. So I think they were. Also, Stephen Shuttler, thank you for the super chat donation.
Oh, hold on. You forgot to talk about Jorah.
Oh yeah, I'll get to Jorah.
Cool.
I'll certainly get to Jorah. Stephen, is that Schuttler?
Yes.
Schulter, is that
Schluter?
I'm sorry. Okay. What about Mira's blade? We got a good look at it. I wonder if it's Dark Sister. I don't think it is. I think that will be played up a bit more, and we'll see when we get to that. But when we see what them get through the wall and what Mira actually does, does she just go home? I just don't think in the show they'll play in the big swords like that. I thought that last year But to be to nonchalantly pick a sword up against a wall and not even use it, when the whites were attacking before Benjen saved them,
right?
And it doesn't look like. I mean, I know that swords in Game of Thrones don't look like a Song of Ice and Fire swords necessarily, but I'm going to doubt it just because of the show. And also, Big Pat, thank you.
Thank you so much, Big Pat,
for the donation. But I do not see a question, so please retype that. Wow, we are up to 2210 viewers. 2210 viewers. All right. Let's see. We took a few notes, or James actually did. I got to watch it again for my regular review. 3 white giants.
I know.
Three white giants.
I didn't even see it. I was focused in the front, and you were like, "Fucking white giant." And
I
then
saw the
next
shadow.
thing you know, there were 2 more, man.
I saw the shadow. Absolutely. I was like, oh shit, they're going to bring in some giants. So that little piece in the little behind the scenes trailer confirmed that. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be giants we know, I don't think, but thank you, Elizabeth. Pretty cool to see that. She said to check Streamlabs, I believe Carol did, so let me double check that really quick. If I can find the right tab.
Let's see.
Where is the date? Oh, wow. Okay, we've already got a few.
Here we go.
Jim Gower, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jim.
That's who donated earlier. Love what you guys do. Thank you so much. Cockney White, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I do not see a question. Cockney, Austin Gonder, thank you. What an episode. My favorite premiere so far. I didn't realize that the first while the father and daughter were the Hound buried. Oh, but now I remember. Plus that scene of the Army of the Dead, white giants. That intro was brilliant.
It really was.
They jumped right in, no filler in this one. It was very fast pacing. This is going to go fast.
And like you said, it reminded you of Hard Home when they were up on the mountain. That's what it reminded me of too.
Yes, and I mean at least they did kind of address what we were talking about before with the Winter is Here theme that we didn't see in any trailers. But they at least showed that, and they showed Brandon Morgan for a second, or I guess probably watching them.
Yep.
And in some way, but you saw that damn cloud coming towards you, and just like over at Hard Home, they bring the damn storm, and good God Almighty, it's coming.
It almost gets colder in the room. I mean, they do a good job.
I mean,
that.
It's got to be. It was. I guess they got to be heading towards the wall now.
Yeah,
and they didn't really address
the Hound
the whole.
Told us where they're going. I believe the Hound's vision is right.
They're marching right by where he said. I guess that was the fist of the first man he might have saw. He said a mountain that looked like something. I can't remember exactly the wording.
I forgot about that part of it.
So they're not far. They're not far already. So I mean, they just got to make the hike. Let's see, Hawkeye 786.
Thank you.
Who wants some shit soup? The Citadel Daily Special.
I
know. It was.
They kept going back and forth from the shit
to the soup. Exactly.
I can see why he was gagging so much.
Oh man, the Battle Tank. Thank you so much. The North remembers. Thank you, the Battle Tank, and awesome. Ethan Hunt.
Hey,
yo
Ethan,
guys,
what's going on? Thank you.
Hope you had a great week. The season hype is real. Liana Mormont stole that episode for me. I love that little actress. And snark and to the point. Yes, absolutely, Ethan. That was badass. She stood up to the Glovers and said, "I'm not scared to damn. I'm not going to sit around on fire while my men go out and die." So she ain't scared.
What about Jon and Sansa? The same scene.
Yes, that
happened fast.
Pretty hard hitting. It was like and I was yelling at TV then. We were kind of like kind of cussing at the TV actually.
I was like, I can't believe I've always liked this bitch.
And I said the same thing that he says, like, you're going to do that in front of everybody? And then they had the conversation. I was like, is all okay?
I know.
Is that as far as they're going? No. Can't be as far as they're going. Littlefinger still got some role to play.
I've got a problem now, though. Since she's so intertwined with Littlefinger, even when she seems sincere, I question her sincerity. And how genuine she is.
Because
she
we
has
may
an
be
innocent
getting
girl
played.
look on her face, but I'm thinking,
yes, we may be getting played for all we know. We don't really know what's going on in her head. She like Brienne specifically asked her, "What's he still doing here?" And she's like, "We need the veil." Yeah, you do, but I mean, I don't know. It's almost like she was covering for him a little bit still. I don't know. There's going to be more there for sure.
Because when Jon said, "You question me in front of everybody," or whatever he said, it's like she turned back into the little girl, innocent and everything.
Yes.
But then he said, what he said about her comparing her to Cersei? It's like you almost admire
when Jon
her
said it sounds like you almost admire her, and she said I learned a lot from her.
Yeah.
So that definitely shows. I hope we finally see the dark side, because if not, I'm going to be severely disappointed in Sansa once again. Let's see. Sun Mountain, thank you, Sun Mountain 1984. Euron's gift will be the Sand Snakes. I believe so.
Oh,
I believe that's exactly what he's talking
crossed
about.
my mind. Okay.
Because they gave the gift of the little necklace about Marcella, the warning there. So she's going to give the gift back, and I believe that's
so
episode
cool.
2's thing. And I'll do a quick preview video for episode 2 as well. And I'll start that tonight or tomorrow. Mav726 campfire scene did a hell of a job showing how most soldiers don't really care. They just want to go home. Arya kills new daddy anyway. A girl has no feels. I agree. I really liked how they didn't make all the Lannisters to be evil assholes. They're just soldiers that are just doing their duty.
What they're told,
So I really like that they added that little part. But did you notice Arya scoping out the? She's a badass.
She really is.
She was like the guy. She's like a ninja now. She was already scoping out the weapons, where they were, where they'd have access to them, her escape route, all that good stuff. She was ready to roll.
There's 5 or 6 guys there, and you almost feel sorry for them. They don't know what
sitting
right there.
They have
with
no
them.
clue. And she just straight up says, "I'm going to kill the queen," and they all
Yeah,
laugh
they
like
laugh.
it's a joke. She don't give a fuck. She's a badass now. I really dug that. So, also, Yahweh, is that Yahweh or Yahweh 94? Thank you. Did we talk about the cat's paw yet? We did mention it. So we did see that. We're going to obviously see that again. They didn't stop on that page. They could have. I guess they could have done it just for a little Easter egg, like saying this is what started all this. But I think it's coming back.
I'm sorry. Carol said Mike Bushnell was blocked.
Blocked? Not sure how he got blocked. Let me see. I don't know.
Yes, right above where the next one up. Right.
Well, I can't get to it for some reason.
Right there, see?
All right, let me see. 1 second, Carol.
We got to have Mike up in the party.
Nope, didn't want that. Trying to see how I can. I'd have to go to a different page here. Let me work on that for a second, Mike. I apologize. Tell him if you're talking to him. I'm not sure why he's blocked. I certainly didn't block him. Let me find that in a second. Let's see here. Mike let me in. Yeah. Tell Mike it wasn't me. I didn't block him, so I apologize, Mike. I'll try to find that in just a second to get you back in here. And I got to find where I manage that. Any block people? There shouldn't really be any block people. Let's see here. Another super chat, I believe. Okay, yes. Embers on Fire, PM.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Don't think the farmer and daughter should have been buried and not burned and not buried. They are coming for the Hound. I was actually thinking that.
I did not think that.
I was actually thinking that when he was burying him. I thought Thoros, when he walked out and he found them buried, would say something like, we should burn them. But, I mean, because that's the Lord of Light thing, know. But I don't know if he knows the full thing about the white shit and what to do and you should burn people. I actually thought about that. So we may see those guys pop out of the ground again. I don't know. That's kind of what I thought about.
Good question, Paul. And then, let's see what we got here. Carlos Beltran. What?
Yeah, what?
That's a baseball player. Let's see.
Oh, is this a baseball player?
I don't know if it's him. A dragon will be killed and become white dragon. What do you think?
I don't know, Carlos, man. I'm still not there yet. This was the part. This was sent to me, so I don't know. I don't buy it yet. I could see it. I see it as a good twist, as the Night King being another dragon rider. But I think that would be kind of cool. But I don't know.
I was thinking it for a long time, but I'm kind of backpedaling now.
Yeah, but I don't know. Now that we see white giants, I mean, you never know. But again, we just don't know how that works with magical creatures like dragons. So I'm not sure about that actually. But I still kind of doubt it. Also, Josh Friend, thank you, Josh. Archmaester telling Sam every winter has ended could mean a couple of things. Thoughts: did one get burned, or what happened to the dead for Battle of the Bastards? Oh, okay. We got he pulled up Carlos. Yeah. So I think that was kind of the and they didn't call him Morwen either, or so I'm not sure. I thought it was confirmed to be Morwen, but he just called him Archmaester. I think in a sense that was just like, look, I believe what you're saying, but everything we have survived. We have got through it. So that was almost like, the there is hope to me. It's kind of what he was saying. Like, we're going to see this thing. It's going to be bad, but we will survive this thing. And as far as 1-1, yes, Jon should have burned all the bodies. He knows what to do. He's been at the wall.
Good point.
They should have burned everything at Winterfell and all the bodies, so he knows what to do. I think that would take care of 1-1. So the giants we see will not be the ones we know.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, I don't want to see 1-1.
Like, we don't want to see.
Just give me some random giants I don't know.
We don't want to see that crap.
Yeah, we don't want to see Magnum Mighty or 1-1, any of those guys. Let's see here. Mike, I'm trying to find really quick.
Haven't people asked about Summer?
Nymeria?
No, I mean, are we gonna see a white Summer?
Oh yeah. We got some questions on that before. I don't think they will. I don't know. It's just like technically, yes, Summer should be a white, Hodor should be a white, but we're not going to see him. So I mean, and you know, that can be explained pretty easily. You got hundreds of thousands of people. You can't see every. You know, you're not going to pick out one person in this giant army coming.
Season Smoker 420 said his wife is jealous of the sun drop and sheer wine.
Always got to have the sun drop in the house.
Yes, we do.
Let's see here. Carol, you got your hands full tonight. I don't know. I'm telling you right now, we are up to 27-11. Anyway, let's see here. What did I just saw? Can we talk about Jorah? Yes, Ian Robertson. Yes, Jorah. So he mentioned the Dragon Queen, and then Sam kind of backed the fuck up after he saw his arm. So Sam is aware of what that is.
That was crazy.
So I guess in the trailer we kind of guessed a lot. I guessed anyway. I'm pretty sure a lot of us did.
It looked so bad because we're being treated, right?
Yeah. Well, we thought that like the scene with the surgery where he was weighing the organs would be like him maybe healing Jorah or going through that process. But I guess Jorah just went there and he's waiting his turn. To be studied, and it doesn't look good. So, but I think that was just their introduction. So obviously we're going to see him. Obviously he's going to get healed and go back to Dragonstone, which was the odd thing. We were kind of thinking that the whole grayscale would be another biological weapon. What's it in the story for? In the books, it's not even Jorah, but the point being, what's it there for?
Yeah.
But if he goes back to Dany before she ever leaves Dragonstone on this great war, then obviously it's healed. So I think that's what's going to happen. So they got their introduction there. So he went. I guess he went to the right place.
And I'm glad you. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm glad you're there when I'm watching it to remind me, like between scenes, that time has passed. Because sometimes you think they're just switching from one scene to another. It's the exact same moment in time.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you keep reminding me of that because you can tell.
Yeah, absolutely. Chicken Noodle Soup 211. Game-Bo officially dead now that the Hound is bound north. Not necessarily Chicken Noodle Soup. I don't think it's going to happen only because I think the Hound's arc is changing and he's not going to be worried about the revenge thing. But there's still a chance because we do know that they have to meet with... Jon and them is going to reach out regardless of being Lannisters. He's going to reach out to everybody, enemies included. So I think that's going to happen. So there's a chance we could see something go down there. Okay, I saw some super chats come in. Let's see. Oh wow, we're rolling. Laura Bell, I think, is that where we're at? Yes. Thank you so much, Laura Bell. Those soldiers aren't Lannister. There was no lion detailing on their armor. Perhaps they belong to Tarly.
They weren't. They didn't have lions, but it looked a lot like Lannister
that's
to me.
true. I was looking for it, but I thought I saw in the background Lannister shields. So if you go back and look at that again, there were some Lannister shields leaning against the tree.
Okay.
So I believe they were Lannister. But yes, you're right. Tarly does look very similar. So I think when one of the scenes when Arya was like panning around looking at the swords, and then it was showing her with the dialogue, I think we saw Lannister shields behind them.
Okay, cool.
They were kind of blurry, but you could clearly see the lion, I think. So I believe I'm correct on that. Also, Steel Hammered. I think if they could work the dates, then people would understand that time passes different for each character. Unless you read books, it doesn't always make sense. Exactly.
That's weird. I just said that, Steel Hammered.
Exactly. And this is a good reason why George R. R. Martin decided to go in the book route with POVs from multiple people, not just a god complex, a third person. That way you can understand that every person is experiencing their own time, etc. So yeah, in the show it's kind of weird. That's why we have the teleporters.
Yep.
But that's really what's going on. Oh, Eric Melton. Okay, my cousin Eric. Thank you, Eric. This is my cousin Eric who does the caricatures I told you guys about. If any of you guys are still, because I had a couple of you message me about it, so I'm glad he reminded me. Thank you for the donation, Eric. He is drawing, well, he has drawn Dany, Jon Snow, and Tyrion separately and all together, caricature style.
Yes.
And you can go to his website,
really sharp.
meltonart.com/store, and they're still there. He just got his website back up. There was some problems with it. But if you go to meltonart.com/store, actually, I'll type that in. You can buy it if you're interested in that. I think he's still offering the deal before. He had it, it was /Smokescreen before, but I think he's still offering a deal on that. So meltonart.com/store. And you can pick up Dany, Tyrion, Jon in caricature form. Go check him out. He can also do custom stuff.
Absolutely.
All kinds of cool stuff. If you want your head on a different body, or
you want to be
as
Lannister
a character,
armor.
yeah, absolutely. Or have a direwolf beside you, definitely email Eric. Let's see, Donna Bettis. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you so much.
Who wins War of Words, Lana Mormont versus Olenna Tyrell? I'm telling you right now, I want to see that meeting.
You nailed it that one night when you did that.
Olenna, man, I'm telling you, I don't know. Just because of experience, she might have a slight edge, but God, Lyanna's on it. She is on it. She is cool as hell.
She intimidates me through the screen.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm really curious when she meets Jorah again, what happens. You know, like Jorah, technically he should be like Dany would want him to be, leader of the house or lord of that house or whatever. But I don't think he would take it. So I'm interested to see that. Thank you, 79 Resin, for the donation, but I do not see a question. Wow, they're piling up on us.
Yeah,
We're
they
getting
are.
behind. Lauren Young, thank you
so much, Lauren.
Best Got channel, y'all are awesome. Thank you so much, Lauren Young. Appreciate that.
So much. That means so much, Lauren. Thank you.
Mimi Got fan. Thank you so much, Mimi. Maester told Sam the ending, we are the history. Yeah, that's kind of true. That's kind of what I was saying. I think it was kind of hinting towards, they're going to make it, but it's not going to be very pretty. I mean, there's going to be a chance for them to change and make things different as far as the feudalistic system. Let's see. She-Mac 14, thank you.
So much,
Jorah alive. I think Sansa's punishment will be that she is a lone wolf after realizing she is a wolf far too late. Thoughts?
Good point.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's interesting. It could be that Arya comes back to the wolf pack and Sansa ends up being kind of the one on the outside.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, originally
she's realizing it a little later. We'll realize it later.
Yeah, exactly. And originally Sansa was supposed to actually betray her family in the original script of the books. So we'll see how much of that's left. I don't think she'll quite go that far, but she's still got, like James said during the show, it was like she said, she's still so damn power hungry. Exactly.
She is,
She's
man.
still, even though she's, they had the conversation afterwards, it's still in her head. She can't let it go. And I understand to a degree, but it's like, okay, come on, man. Listen to what he's saying. You can't just go punish some kids for what their fathers did. He's trying to save the world. This is literally the world. I don't think she understands the degree of what's actually going on. And he's got a good perspective on that.
All the words before the word butt or horseshit or something
yeah,
like
exactly
that.
what Benjamin said in season 1 to Tyrion. Father already said anything that comes after the words butt don't mean a damn thing. Also, Harsh, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Harsh.
Hey guys, thanks for providing great content. The episode is awesome. Do you think Arya was telling the truth when she said she's going to kill King's Landing to kill the Queen? I do. I think she, at least at the time, she absolutely means that she's heading to King's Landing because she was heading south. Now, do I think she'll make it there? No. I think something will kind of derail her and get her to head home.
Meet somebody on the road that kind of changes everything.
I almost got the feeling that we predicted this with the Hound before, and we talked about Melisandre, the Hound, really harping on the Hound though. But I got the feeling with the way they were showing the Hound in the past, with the house that they went to where they got the rabbit stew, that it's going to be the Brotherhood. But they're pretty far north already. They're in the snow pretty heavy, so I don't know. We'll see. We just don't know exactly where they are.
But
so,
she's going to be in the snow or whatever. We saw it in that trailer.
We did see that in the trailer. So something's going to make her turn around.
Yeah.
Something's going to make her turn around. And we've been thinking like the Hound or the Brotherhood or Melisandre or something like some meeting will have her turn around and go home.
Speaking of Melisandre, we didn't,
didn't see Melisandre. Yeah, I was kind of waiting to see if we saw her at least riding down the road or already at Dragonstone, but
I
it did
would've
make more
been fine.
sense from the trailer we saw her looking down that would be Jon and Davos coming up.
Yeah.
So we will see Melisandre, I'm sure, fairly soon. Probably episode 2.
Melissa Ubilis.
Ubulus, is that Ubulus? Thank you,
Ubulus,
Melissa.
thank you. Says, so Houses Umber and Karstark, who do you think made a better point, Jon or Sansa? Why? Personally, I side with Jon, but in the back of my mind, I wonder if the decision could potentially bite him in the ass later. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, during that scene, I can understand what she's saying.
I totally could.
She there has to be a punishment, otherwise people are going to start undermining you all the time. But in a normal situation, that makes sense. This is not a normal situation.
And he needs to drive that point home.
And that's what he was trying to do.
Yep.
Like, look, this is not something we can fuck with right now. Yes,
in the North.
we can't start. And he even made the point. Look, girls got to fight too. So that's a huge change. He would never have asked that before.
Good point.
So yeah, that's kind of the thing. This is a unique situation. So I did understand what she was saying, but she was applying that logic to a regular time, if that makes sense.
And I appreciated her saying, "You're good at this. You're being a leader." But then again, now I can't help but think, is she just trying to pump his head full of shit to let him take his guard down?
It's hard to tell with her what she's learned from Littlefinger, what game she's actually playing. Also, Patrick Snyder, thank you, Patrick. If Jaime still has an oath to protect Arya, and Arya kills Cersei and Jaime walks in on something, what does he do? Yes. Good question. Now, I don't think that happens with Arya. I think that will be Jaime himself to become the Queen Slayer as well. But it goes back to his point from previous seasons about being a knight.
Right.
He's hated being a knight because you're breaking one oath to hold up another. And I think that's what Brienne's going to learn. And I think he'll learn that. She heard Jaime talking about that shit, and Brienne's going to learn that too, as she's like on her quest to be a knight. Whether she technically ever gets to be a knight or whatever, who knows? But she'll learn that it's harder than than she thinks it is.
Right.
As far as the vow thing, and I completely understand that. All right, here. Let's see. Wow, we have almost 3,000 people up in this camp.
Unbelievable, guys.
Awesome. Welcome to the channel.
Night.
Welcome to the channel. So yes, please subscribe and give this video a like, and we'll be here every Sunday right after the show, and as usual, a episode breakdown more in detail, because after this live stream, I'm gonna watch it again, take detailed notes, and do my review video, but also do a little preview video for next week. That little bit of footage they released, I'll kind of break that down as well.
I said 11 o'clock at night, like we're all in the same time.
Yeah, that's right. This is like Westeros. Over here, we're in the Eastern time zone. We have people across the narrow sea staying up. Hannibal Lecter says up in this bitch. So we got Hannibal Lecter up in this bitch. Let's see. Andela Baraka. Q&A, do you think Sam's message... Oops. I think the TV came out from... It was paused. Do you think Sam's message will actually reach Jon, or do you think that the Citadel wants to prevent certain information from leaving? Yeah, I don't know if the Citadel will go that deep into their supposed plots and whatever about all that good stuff about Targaryens or being anti-dragon or whatever. I don't think they'll do that. So I do think that Jon, that will probably reach Jon. And if it doesn't, though, it's a good reason for him to leave. We know he's going to leave this season, and he's not going to have time. I've said this before, and a lot of people thought, no, he'll become a maester. I just don't think he has enough time. There's just not enough time left in this thing for him to become a full-fledged maester. Whether he forges one link or not or something like that, maybe. But I don't see him becoming a full-fledged. I don't think there's enough time to become a maester.
Man, we've been talking about those dragonglass arrowheads for over a year now.
Yes.
It's funny, and now there's diagrams of them in the book he's looking at.
Yeah, so that did come to pass. That was another thing. It was the dragonglass. We talked about that in the trailer where Jon's going to go to Dany, not just to get her to ride dragons up there, but
yeah, you nailed that.
We need this shit from your island. Stannis told us it was here. Sam has confirmed that in a separate location.
Yes.
That's going to be a point where they all kind of come together and try to get some of that dragonglass. So absolutely. Carol says check Streamlabs. All right, thank you, Carol. Let me refresh that. This is insane. We're almost at we got over 3,000 people now. And the chat's absolutely flying by with a delay. You can't even see it. Honestly, I'm just having to stop it and see things. Let's see here. Jack Sloan, thank you, Jax. I've been saying this forever. Jon Snow, the prince that was promised, and Dany are going to be his Dany is going to be his light bringer. Not going to be a sword. It's going to be her. I agree.
Now, yes.
I've been saying that too. Lightbringer is not a literal sword, and we'll see if there is a person that's technically Lightbringer, or if it's just a combination of the two. But yes, I agree. It's not a literal sword. Been saying that forever. It's definitely a person, and it makes sense because the dragons are even referred to as bringers of light in some paragraph, some obscure paragraph in the book somewhere that I can't remember exactly where.
When you told me that, I bought.
Yep.
Hook, line, and sinker.
So I think you're right, Jax. I think that's essentially what's happening here. Also, Ethan Hunt again. Thank you, Ethan.
Thank you, sir.
When pet owners die, their pets tend to get depressed and die earlier than normal. Other than Jon for a hot minute, none of the Stark or Targaryens have died before their wolves or dragons. Do you think that process will be worse for the bondage of a wolf dragon? With the bonded wolf dragon, that's interesting. I haven't really thought about that. I have in the sense of the direwolf theory that I don't know if it's mine necessarily, but I think the names I've said this for 2 years now. I think the names of the direwolves were important about their owners. Shaggy Dog, for example, it's a Shaggy Dog story, which it literally means it's a story that goes nowhere.
Yeah.
So Rickon had no future, that type of thing. So
right.
In that sense, that's interesting to see. Like if Jon would die, how that would affect Ghost, for example, or Nymeria and Arya. But we did see we did see Lady die, and we saw what happened with Sansa. She became a lady in a sense, not exactly what she wanted to be.
Let me see this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see. Kara also has a question from Marisol Guevas. Q&A, there seems to be a bit of reference from season 1. Did you notice the opening scene, the 2 wines being referenced were the same ones the wine merchant said to Dany?
I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice that, actually. I mean, he said he did say the best arbor gold, right? That was the same.
Oh, man, okay.
So, yeah, that makes sense. They did, this felt like almost like a throwback, like they were referencing earlier seasons for sure. You had the Hound in the house with Arya.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You had Dragonstone. Where Stannis was sitting at the table. Because in Dragonstone before, we only saw the table room. That was the only sculpture of a dragon we saw behind him when Melisandre first got introduced. And now we see all these.
You were right about her pulling the banner down too.
Yeah, I did catch the little banner in the trailer. I saw it on the ground and said, "This has got to be like a banner she's pulled down." So it was cool to see that too. Pull down the old, and not that I didn't like Stannis, but you know what I mean.
I know it.
Because people were waiting 25 years for that. So I think it was, I guess if I had a nitpicky thing about it, it wasn't as emotional as I thought it could have been.
Yeah.
It was kind of quick.
Right.
I like the scene, she touched the dirt and felt the sand. She was born there. She's literally never touched the ground, but she's walking in, you're picturing Aegon the Conqueror, however that would have been. We've never seen that. We've only heard about it in the books.
Yeah, I actually was trying to picture him on that throne.
Yeah, and so I think the throne there is probably a thing for the show, but you could kind of see that, but I guess it was kind of fast or something. I don't know. It was just the last 4 minutes.
Yeah,
and no lines whatsoever except, "Are you ready?" or "Is it time to be?" Shall we begin? Shall we begin?
Yeah.
Tyrion's just kind of soaking it up. I expected Tyrion to say something. Computer blue. It was kind of cool how she was taking it all in, but at the same time, it wasn't quite as moving in a sense. I don't know. I'm not disappointed by it or anything.
No.
But it was, something was a little off about, her. I guess it was just because it was quick. Maybe it was just the time.
What about Littlefinger asking her, why aren't you happy? He's already trying to dig, man.
He knows she's safe for the time being, but yes, happy.
He's basically saying, come on out and say it.
Exactly.
You want to rule. Let me help you.
Why are you letting your bastard brother, who was born in the South, let's see here. Eric Iverson, Ed Sheeran's song lyrics from book. Tyrion had the singer killed for it. Oh yeah, I didn't even know. I wasn't even paying attention to the actual words of the song, which is why I go back and watch it again for a detailed review. But yeah, that's cool. I'm glad they're kind of including stuff like that.
Oh, what about Big Cincy's right there?
Go for it.
Q&A. Chris, do you think the Night's Watch at Eastwatch by the Sea will accept the wildlings as reinforcements?
We have to assume that by Jon being Lord Commander, a previous season, that he's already gotten word to Eastwatch and the other man castle. We got to assume that that's already known.
Right.
So they, so now Ed's essentially in command. Whether he's officially elected or not, we don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to be a problem for them to go there and man the castle, if that's what in fact happens.
There might be like tension a little bit between them, but they all know,
right.
You know, we got to follow Jon.
Yeah, and so you just got to kind of assume there that he's already gotten word out. You know, as far as what happened last year, letting the wildlings through. You know, that type of thing. Hoonja, there's Hoonja.
Hoon, what's up?
Well, I lost it.
There it is.
Yeah, Q&A. Arya out front with 50 kills, Proto Stark. That's right. So, you know, hey, I called that earlier. In the stream that was promised we did earlier, somebody said, who dies first? I said, I think a bunch of Freys, but I really was just saying.
You did.
I wasn't thinking
even thinking about that.
It was just because I didn't want to think of like a main character dying in the first episode.
That
That was great that they jumped straight into that. And as soon as we heard Walder Frey and I saw the damn red, this was Red Wedding 2.0 basically, and it was outstanding. And I was like, oh shit, he's like having a toast, and I called it. I was like, I yelled it out in the room. Here comes the wine, and it's all poison. Kaluminati, if you don't like the channel, you're free to click leave. That's fine, no problem. But you're welcome to stay and enjoy with the rest of us.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Where are we at here? Wow, damn. We are rolling here. We have, what do we got? 3,500 people?
Amazing.
Wow.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
so
awesome.
much.
Awesome. Everybody is hanging out, and we'll do this every week. We got 6 more weeks. 6 more weeks until our wait begins.
Yes, we do.
We're
Patrick Snyder.
Patrick Snyder. If Jaime still has oaths to protect Arya. Oh wait, we just did Patrick. We actually did that one. That's right.
I've been looking down.
Doc Holliday. But anyway, thank you, Patrick. We did answer that question.
Doc
Holliday, there he is. Thank you, Doc. They have made it seem that Sansa has the upper hand on Littlefinger. There has to be a twist to level the playing field between them, right? Now, this was your point. You were thinking that, you know, we're all saying that Sansa's finally going to turn the tables and she's going to set these traps and set him up. But, you know, you kind of still think that maybe
there's a chance that, yeah, he is responsible for Sansa's death.
Yeah, I mean, I can actually see that because, you know, he's not dumb, and he's been around a lot longer than her. And yes, she's supposed to turn the tables on him, and I think that should happen.
Yeah, that's her.
But I can definitely see where he's still like he laid his cards out on the table, and now I see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's outsmarted a lot slicker than her.
Exactly. So yeah, I think there's a chance of that. Also, Peach. Thank you, Peach.
And it's funny. I'm sorry. Let me just say, it's funny how, you know, he's a brothel owner. I mean, basically a pimp.
Yeah, exactly.
And trying to act all sweet on her, you know, he can change gears and really break her down.
Right. Also, Peach is saying, free Mike Bushnell. Yes. Yes, Mikey. I'm trying to find it. I just didn't want to interrupt everything else, so I'm trying to go through here like on. Unless James, if you want to read a question while I do that really quick,
yeah,
and I can try to find Mike's the page where I can unblock Mike.
Yeah, so we got Carla Stark. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Peach, by the way.
Carla, could the Hound meet up with Jon at Eastwatch by the Sea since they've mentioned a couple times on the episode? Well, you know, I don't know. I mean, the Hound had the vision where he saw the army, thousands of them or whatever he said, you know, marching through. I don't think he came out and said Eastwatch by the Sea, but that's what we all knew he was talking about. But I'm not so sure that that's where they're headed. Do you think the Brotherhood and the Hound are going to Eastwatch?
I think they will now that they say that. Really? I mean, I don't know.
So he sees that vision.
It makes sense for them to go by ship to Eastwatch.
Okay, well,
instead of through Castle Black.
But now he has that vision. If they believe in that vision. I mean, they're a small group, and he's talking about thousands of dead army. I mean, they might need to go hook up with some other people and then go.
Excuse me, guys. Okay, Mike, you should be free. Tell Mike he should be free. He was somehow on the block list. I have no idea how he got there.
Nightbot.
There is my mom.
Wow.
My mom's up in the chat. Thank you for stopping by, Mother.
Good to see you.
From North Myrtle Beach. Susan Fowler, my dear mother, is in the chat. Along with 4,000 other people almost. Holy shit, this is awesome.
It really is.
4,000 people up here watching, and the show that literally broke YouTube tonight, apparently. So, damn. Hold on, I saw a question from, is that Kubi Salvo? Or Cubby? I don't want to, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Did you notice that the book that Sam was reading that showed us the Valyrian dagger used to kill Bran? That was interesting. Yes, we have mentioned that a couple of times. That was kind of we called that. I got to say it. We called it. We called this in our series, Dragon Raised by Wolves,
parts 1 through 4,
and said that knife has something that it's going to come back.
We really did.
And because so much focus is on the Valyrian steel swords and all that,
yes.
so that was. They definitely showed that for more than long enough, and it was definitely identical, almost identical. And it is a Valyrian steel sword. It is ancient, with dragon bone blade, or dragon bone handle.
Yeah.
So yes, we will see that come back into play. There's Mike. He is back. Sorry, Mike. Not sure what happened. No idea. Somebody.
I think Ramsey did it.
Probably. So you got Carla's. Okay. So Stephen. Let me get down here. I can see it. Stephen, is that Schulter? Schluter. No, we're butchering that bad.
Stephen Schluter, I believe.
Yeah, Schluter, that's it. Okay, thank you, Stephen. Search for Marshall and Tyrells before Euron returns.
Good question.
Yeah, that's a good question. The time, and I think they kind of hinted that they need to. We'll see. Yeah, I think. I think it makes sense for them. They're going to move this thing fast. So Jaime goes to Highgarden and tries to take down Highgarden while Cersei can deal with Euron without Jaime being around.
Yeah.
And we'll see some more something going on there. So I think that makes sense.
Yeah, Jaime definitely needs to be out of the picture because he's.
Yes,
totally
Doc Holliday again. Already used your line, root and stem. I know, we started laughing.
Yeah, we looked at each other. It was awesome.
I repeated that probably a little too much in that Barris video, but people did get a laugh out of it. A couple people were probably annoyed by it, I'm sure. But yeah, root and stem.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Doc.
Thank you, sir. Daniel Green. Hey, fellas, can you talk about the dagger in the book Sam was reading? We've been seeing a ton of hype about the blade besides the Valyrian steel thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the dagger, there's really not much to say as far as just that this is what started the whole thing.
Yes, it is.
But as far as the dagger itself, we know it's old, we know it's Valyrian steel, we know it's dragon bone.
Did you say it was won in a wager or something like that?
Yeah, well, that's what Littlefinger said.
Right, right.
And we don't really know if Tyrion ever had even owned that dagger, but it's essentially what started this whole thing. And of course, Catelyn, being the genius she was.
Yeah.
Used that as evidence to start this whole damn War of the Five Kings. So it would have been really interesting to see if that never happened, what happens now with the winter. Winter's coming anyway, right? So it would have been really cool. But yeah, I mean, that's really it. It's just kind of the thing that started this thing as far as the story goes.
Yeah.
So we were just saying a long time ago, poetically, it could be the thing that helps end it. So
exactly.
That's my take on the dagger.
Like you said, all these huge swords are getting all the attention and everything.
And there's this little dagger here that started the whole thing. It kind of got pushed to the side. And we know
this
Arya
happens to be Valyrian steel, and we know what that does.
Exactly.
And you said it's dragon bone handle?
Dragon bone handle.
I mean, there's just too much. And then when he flipped in that book, that old ass book, and
yeah, and you're talking about a book that has to be I don't know how many hundreds if not thousands of years old, but talking about the Long Night, which was 8,000 years old. So that's definitely something about the dagger. So maybe we'll get more actual backstory and find out what that came from and whose it was.
Be very cool.
Also, thank you, Lala Gig. 3,500 viewers. Time to get a peek under the hat. No. We have to have 100K subscribers first, Lala.
Right.
Come on. So yeah, we're up to 3,624 viewers. Awesome. I mean, this is obviously a record for us. We were up to 800 on a regular Sunday in the off season.
Yeah.
So good to see. So yes, and we already have 1,000, almost 1,100 likes. Wow, on the video.
Fantastic, guys.
On the stream. So very cool. Thank you guys so much.
Hoonjob says Streamlab and Super Chat, so might need to check Streamlab.
All right, let me first off, I had one from Eberdone really quick.
Yeah, do it.
Q&A, didn't you love the nod to the Gravedigger theory? Yes, that's true. I didn't even think of that, Eberdone, right when he was digging the grave. God, I should have thought about that from the books. The grave. This is why we know the Hound's coming back. It's a whole thing in the books where Brienne sees somebody digging a grave. Looks very much like the Hound, but he's got a cloak on, so we know the Hound's going to come back. But they've already confirmed that for the show. So
wow.
Didn't even think about the connection with the Gravedigger, but very cool. Let's see. I think we are at Dennis Berthold.
Yes.
Berthold. Thank you, Dennis. Who told Cersei about Dany's new hand? Tyrion. Well, I'm assuming Qyburn. Qyburn has the little birds now. At least he thinks he does.
I thought that too.
So yeah, I mean, some time's passed. I mean, obviously they went across the entire ocean, and so yeah, she's going to learn secrets and get ravens and secrets from Qyburn, her hand to the queen. So I think that's probably where she found out about Dany. Of course, they knew about Dany long, long ago. As a matter of fact, Robert warned Cersei, "What do you do when a Dothraki show up? Never meet them in an open field." And what's she going to do?
Yeah.
She's going to send Jaime to meet him in open field because she rolls like that.
He sure told
Makes
her
complete
that.
sense. Ember's on fire again. Thank you. What is the gift that Euron will return with? Sand snakes. Going to be sand snakes. The people that killed Myrcella.
I think it's great.
And that's who sent her the original gift in the box with the viper necklace and yep.
I can totally see that. Yeah, she'll appreciate that so much.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She's his.
Absolutely. Okay, let's see. Rachel Miller, thank you, Rachel. That top knot joke. I know.
Yeah, that was so funny.
I love the Hound's dialogue. I mean, look, they could do a whole spinoff on the Hound, and I'd be there every damn week.
Would too.
Just him talking to random people about fucking chickens and damn top knot jokes and cunts jokes. That's
crazy.
So hilarious. He is. I'm telling you, if it comes to favorite characters, it's the Hound and Tyrion right here for me. I mean, I don't know. The Hound may edge Tyrion just a bit just because of the fucking chicken and cunt jokes.
Yeah, man.
The Hound gets it. He really gets the thing about knighthood. Also, C-Mob, thank you, C-Mob. Remember when we thought White Hoarder would be trouble? Those giant whites were some scary shit and going to cause real damage. You damn right.
You were so right about that.
You got that right. That's insane. And I was actually...
I mean, it's a game changer. Not they need much of a game changer, but oh my God.
Exactly.
That's going to intimidate the soldiers even more.
Okay. All right, so let's
Streamlabs.
see. Okay, I just checked it. I thought I did.
See you. I'm sorry.
I think we're good there. So we're caught up. So I'll tell you, we've already been going for an hour already. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick little stretch break and let the dog out. He's over here wanting to go.
Yeah, we've already streamed 4 hours.
So we've streamed 2 hours earlier. Well, actually about 3 hours earlier. So yeah, let's take a quick break. We'll come right back. So hang out. We have 3660 in the chat. So
love you guys.
Thank you guys for hanging out. Give us just a few minutes and we'll be right back. All right, all right, all right.
And we are back.
We are back. All right. Also, really quick, thank you guys so much. I just looked at while we were on break there. Almost 400 subscribers today.
That is so cool.
Now this happened
We'll be seeing
last
you
year. Yeah, this happened last year during the season when the hype was high, but damn, you know, really wasn't. I didn't know what to expect this year because we didn't have like a big Jon cliffhanger, so the hype wasn't really that high during the off season.
Good point, yeah.
But damn, thank you. There's Leslie Powell, new subscriber, joining the chat and content. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you to everybody out there. 400 subscribers almost a day is pretty damn good for me especially. So
we were excited when we had 800 watching us on Sunday nights.
Oh,
man,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
And to see this love, man, you guys must have been telling your friends. This is awesome.
Yes, thank you, Don Weezy, thank you. There's Fractured the Empiricist,
new faces.
Lava Dog. You guys very fast. I'm going by.
Yeah, the chat is fast.
Yeah,
brother.
it's flying by. It's so hard to keep up with. I'm literally just grabbing it every once in a while in a random location. Let's see here.
1,344 likes. That's so cool.
Very cool. Still have 2692 watching while we were taking a break. So very cool. Glad you guys are enjoying it, hanging out. Let's see. Let's really quick before we get back to some questions. We saw. I was trying to think of. There was another point I wanted to make about something. I don't know. Maybe we did cover. Did we cover all the points we wanted to, about the show itself? You know, the cat's paw blade being in the book, Sam at the Citadel meeting Jorah, Dany coming home, Arya.
Little Sam finally aged. We didn't say that.
That's true. That's true. That's right. Yeah, little Sam looks like he can walk now. Maybe
that's cool.
They aged him up. So yeah, I mean that was pretty cool. It was really cool to see the interaction with Beric more now with the Hound. I mean they've talked a little bit before, but really got a little bit more in depth there with Thoros and Beric. So it makes me worry about Thoros and Beric.
And the Hound questioning him like, "Why you, man? Why?"
Yeah. Like I know, like you're okay. I don't hate you, but I don't like you.
Yeah.
You know, but you're okay.
Seen a lot of cooler guys than you strung up. You know, and they didn't come back.
That are dead. Why you? Exactly. So that makes me worry about Beric. But I really enjoyed that interaction. I think that was probably in this episode my favorite thing was the Hound stuff.
Yeah.
And then, ironically, being the guy who looks in the fire and sees something, I literally, that was my shocking moment.
Well, you know, Chris, you've been saying for a long time that some twist with the Hound and fire. Now, we were thinking a different way.
Yes.
But it was right. You know, you were in the ballpark on that. That
yeah,
was really cool to see
thought,
that.
you know, we thought something to the effect of, like, you know, during this battle, you know, he goes in with a flaming sword.
Yeah, something.
He uses fire to save somebody or protect Sansa or Arya or something, dies by fire even for that matter. But yeah, to be the most non-religious motherfucker you ever met, to come in and Thoros says, "Come on over here and check this out, ain't gonna bite you."
And you think he'll say something smart ass.
Exactly. And he looks and all of a sudden,
ice.
and then Beric turns around and goes, "Whoa.
Yeah, buddy.
Like, what the hell?"
Dude.
So that means he's got the gift, you know, whatever they think that is. And honestly, I did expect them to flash over to Bran right after that scene, but they did not.
I didn't think about that. You're right. It seemed like a great point.
I expected to see like that, you know, to kind of give us a little hint about what that might be, which again, it'll probably never really be explained, but I thought they might flash over to Bran, you know, like, okay, he's the guy sending, or at least it's being picked up on, sending things to the flame. So, very, very cool with the Hound tonight. Let's see here. Let's see.
Hold on,
okay.
we got some...
Let's see. Where are we at here? I'm getting.
Keep going
okay.
up,
I think we're.
Try just to be sure.
Yeah. Well, we got that one for sure. Yeah.
Yes, we did. Okay.
So, Charlie Gilchrist. Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
Could the Horn of Jormungand be used to raise a mountain from the sea in the shape of an arrowhead to allow the White Walkers to pass? Interesting. I've never thought about that. I think the Horn of Jormungand, even though we'll see if that's even in the show or not, I think that just means it's a metaphor for earthquakes, you know, weight giants from the earth. That's what I've always thought it would be. But I think what he was seeing was, you know, I thought it might have been the Fist of the First Men. But I don't remember any arrowhead references as far as the shape, because it's shaped like a fist.
Right.
So I thought that might have been what he's seeing where they were at as far as their location. But that's interesting. We've been talking about how they get around water, and that's certainly a possibility.
Yeah, it is.
Doc Holliday again. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, Doc.
Guess we got our answer on why Beric is still alive. To put the Hound on his path is a red priest who can see the flames. Yes, very good point. Or at least in the path to go, fight this war in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But that was that was a big twist for me. The Hound actually seeing something in the flame.
It's like,
but then we saw kind of Stannis do it a little bit. He did see something with Melisandre.
Yeah, that's true.
But Stannis was already kind of there. He didn't really believe. He wasn't sure, but he saw that there was some results, and he so that wasn't a big thing. But the Hound, to actually see something and describe it in detail was pretty damn cool. In fire. Stephen again. Thank you, Stephen. I just got your thing. I'm glad we got your name right. Thank you, Stephen.
Good.
Stephen is a Patreon. Last question: who's choking Baelish in episode 2 preview? That's got to be Jon. It's got to be Jon from the trailer. He's going to say something stupid, probably related to him being a bastard, or maybe even something about his father. I don't think he necessarily knows the secret about Lyanna. I think he definitely knows Lyanna went willingly with Rhaegar. So I don't think he knows RLJ as far as the outcome of that. But he's going to say something, and Jon's going to choke, slam his ass against the wall.
Is there any way you can see, like, Davos?
Well, I mean, I could,
yeah,
I could. Davos would definitely do it if he
would.
said the wrong thing, but we saw the trailer where Jon actually does it. So, I mean, I think that's got to be the same scene.
He's going to get choked once.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's not going to go back down to crypts after that. So he's going to get choked the fuck out, and he's like, these fucking Starks, and this,
I'm not going down there again, dude.
Fast temper, slow minds, he's going to say that again.
Moldy Goldie? No, I'm not going to start that shit again.
Oh, let's not get him laughing this week. Also, Jordan Bricky, thank you.
Thank you.
I do not see a question, Jordan Bricky. So if you have a question, feel free to retype that if you can and get it to Carol, perhaps, or a moderator. I know Carol's probably all alone tonight.
Bless her heart.
And she's seeing this blast of people
it's
up
got
in
to
here.
be overwhelming.
So also Roger Pitts, thank you, Roger. Do you think Jon will marry, and if so, who?
I'm on the camp that says no, but
yeah, I think it's something where right now he's going to say, look, because there may be like Alex Karstark, for example, would be a good suitor for him. Obviously, Dany's coming across, but he don't know about her yet. We got a moth in our set here. So sorry, we're so professional. We let bugs up in here. But I don't think that Jon will find that important right now about marrying somebody and making an heir and all that kind of thing. So I don't know. I don't think we'll ever see that marriage. Even if he falls in love with Dany, for example, they're not going to get married in the middle of a war.
Right.
So we may not ever see that. I'm not sure. It depends. It really depends on the time, but this seems to be moving pretty damn fast. Christabel again. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Is that Omaha? Which Stark do you think will die this season? Maybe not any. Yeah, I don't know. We've talked about that a little bit before. I don't know if we have to have a Stark die this season or next, or if at all.
I know. I'm wondering that too.
But
if at all.
But I can see. I'm worried about Arya and Sansa. I could see. I mean, I could about see anybody. But I think Bran definitely hangs around because of the end game.
Yes.
But I think Arya may have a role to play in that as well, and that may include that damn dagger. So I wouldn't say this season there would be any Starks dying. Originally I thought maybe we lose Arya, or something, even Sansa. But I'm kind of walking that back only because I think there's something bigger coming for Arya at least.
It's funny when people ask questions like that. How I've already taken Jon out of that scenario.
Yeah,
I don't even think of him as a Stark anymore, and it's terrible.
That's true. That is true.
In his heart, he's a Stark, but I don't even consider him a Stark.
Right,
anymore.
but he's died already, and it's like if he died again, it would be. I mean, yeah, it'd be a George thing to do, but why?
Carol Brown.
There's Carol Brown. Thank you, Carol. You don't have to do that, Mr. Supermod.
No.
But thank you. Line of the night, Torment Sanctipod. You are one lucky man. Yes, that's right. That's the other thing. Thank you, Carol. That's what I was going to mention.
Yeah, you really love that. Yeah. God, that was so
Torment
awesome.
in the yard, just smiling away.
Those looks, man.
And that was funny when she looked up at him and Pod actually hit her, and then she still busted that ass because she got distracted.
He's got the eyebrow raises and everything.
He absolutely loves her, but yeah, I wanted to get him kind of play around in the yard a little bit with some swords. That'd been fun. Dragon 5616, thank you, Dragon.
Thank you.
Foreshadowing the mountain will kill Euron. Yeah, I actually thought about that, but I don't really know how he goes out. But I can see that. I would much prefer it to be Theon before Theon has to go, if he has to go at all. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe that's his thing, is to forever be suffering until he dies a natural death.
Yeah, good point.
But I mean, I think Theon's got to complete this arc, and I was saying this earlier in the streams earlier today. I think Theon fits that, but I don't know. I mean, it's just complete guess based off of, Theon's character arc and what Euron's done to his dad and probably Yara and that type of thing. So we'll see. But I mean, it could. The mountain's not done killing yet for sure.
Yeah, and I would appreciate that so much because Euron's such a dick to Theon, man.
He is. But I gotta say, man, I really do. I was really worried about the Euron thing, and we'll see how this continues to go. But tonight, I dug that Euron. He played Jaime right there in front of Cersei. Didn't give a damn. I mean, Jaime got in a few too, but ultimately he walked out the winner of that little duel, and I got both hands.
That was.
And he knows. He already knows. He knows the twin incest thing. He's like, you should kill your brother. It feels good.
But did you not appreciate the fleet? I mean, it
just looked badass.
Yeah, the black sails with the Kraken.
Regardless if you think how they got the wood,
yeah,
and built 1,000
funny when
ships.
you said that.
Yeah, I was like, I guess they found some trees on the outer islands and built those 1,000 ships. But regardless of that, the fleet looked badass, and you got the solid silence right there in front with those sails on the side are badass.
Hell yes.
Oh, Lala, I'm sorry. What am I, chopped liver moderator? I'm sorry, Lala. No, I know you're a great moderator. I just don't see. I literally don't see anybody.
Fast, Lala. No, you are not chopped.
I saw you earlier. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to. No, I wasn't calling you. I appreciate anybody that's willing to help out, especially with damn near. Well, we're damn near 4,000 people.
Yeah.
So no, you're not chopped liver.
Lord, no, we love you to death.
Lowell 17, thank you, Lowell. Who does Bran have sex with first, Tormund or Jaime? I don't think it's gonna happen, man. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't even know if Jaime and Tormund or Jaime and Brienne will ever see each other again. Kind of the way they looked at each other last season.
Yeah, I know. I want them to so bad.
If they did, they still would be too stubborn to tell each other. So I don't think that will happen. So
could you see a scenario where Jaime fulfills the prophecy, kills Cersei, and cries on her shoulder? Because he's devastated that he just did that.
Yeah, if there's a way for them to ever meet again somewhere. Right. Yeah. I mean, I could see that, but...
Because that would be who he would go to. If he was in a room or anywhere and had that feeling overwhelming, because he's been with her through it.
Yeah, and the whole thing in the bathtub scene, where he spilled his guts about the Mad King and all that. So, yeah, but I just don't see it happening. And I mean, her heart is with Jaime. And so Tormund, regardless of whatever happens, I don't think she'll ever go. I don't know. I mean,
we just got a super chat from Podrick. He said, "Who am I, chopped liver?"
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Podrick's got the magic cock, right? Apparently, or tongue or something. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
He might get up in Brienne.
And Richard Clark, thank you, Richard, for the donation. I do not see a question.
Thank you, Richard.
Let me double check Streamlabs. I just want to make sure I'm keeping up with this. Ethan again. Thank you, Ethan.
Oh, yeah.
No question, guys. Got to cut out early tonight. Just wanted to let you know you guys rock, and congrats on almost 4K views. Look out for those troublemakers and have a great night. Thank you, sir. Ethan. Appreciate it, Ethan.
Look forward to seeing you every week.
Glad you got to hang out and have a good night.
And you are a deep thinker, my brother.
Absolutely.
Keep doing it.
All right. 3D Zener or Zener. 3D Zener.
3 Designer.
Yes, we knew that. We said that last week. 3 Designer.
Yep.
This is what I meant to mention this too, so thank you. What do you guys think about Euron Greyjoy's outfit? I think he looked funny. I thought it was odd too.
It looked
to show up. It did. I was expecting like a full trench coat look and more formal. He don't give a fuck. I think that was part of the idea. He was
like midlife crisis looking.
Yeah.
Like a 40-year-old.
So I thought it was odd too. I did. I thought, damn, is he wearing just like a regular? I mean, I don't even know what the fuck it was. But I was expecting more of a formal look or something.
Yeah.
You know, with a Greyjoy.
Yeah, good point.
You know, something on a big trench coat.
The trench coat really would fit.
But he was just in there in like a t-shirt and some boots. I mean, he didn't give a damn.
He's like, let me bust up in here, insult some people, propose to you, and then just drop the mic and walk out.
Exactly. Q&A was Euron high. Heron Bell said, yeah, I mean, if he's drinking that nightshade like in the books, he should be high all the time. But I don't think they never really said that in the show about nightshade. They did in the Warlocks over in Karth, but Euron has not been associated with that yet in the show. So maybe they'll show that in his purple lips. But I doubt it because they didn't even give him a damn eye patch.
Did you see that one?
I did not.
Go up. It's Josh.
I'm sorry, guys. We're trying to grab questions
here. It goes so
here.
fast. There it is. Josh S. says, anyone notice the blue-eyed giant Macumba?
Ah,
I did see the blue eye.
I did see the blue eye. Yeah, it was a blue-eyed giant.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Macumba, probably not his name, but but yeah. I mean, that was pretty cool. Maybe that was a little shout out to that.
I bet that's what it was.
Yeah. A little, full of Easter eggs. Full of Easter eggs tonight.
Yes.
I'm ready to go watch it again now in more detailed notes, because the first time I tried to just sit down and watch it as a fan, and now I'll go back into YouTube mode and really kind of pause it and break things down. Let's see. Just saw Enokieva. Is that Kieva? Enokieva. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Thank you.
I think you got it.
People keep saying the wall may fall at the end of the season. Could it end up Cersei's death by Arya or Jaime instead? Could it end with? Yeah, man, it could, because we've always traditionally had an episode 9 where something really big happens, and then 10 kind of wraps it up. So we could see something in episode 6 this year where the wall, and then 7 is like the finale with some other things. But I still think it needs to be a cliffhanger. We see the wall come down, and then they actually walk into Westeros.
Yeah, but I have to say real quick, remember the very beginning when Bran was going in the gate, and we were like, whoa, whoa. I mean, it feels weird because, he's got the mark on it.
Yeah,
like,
they didn't even, address it.
Yeah, I mean, we were like, damn it. He's just rolling up in there, sliding up in there.
Yeah, he did. I thought they might actually say, wait a minute, hold up, and him, look at it or think about it or something.
Acknowledge it.
Because now, if that's the case, which obviously maybe it was a one-time thing, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's broke. I mean,
that's
if
so
that's
crazy.
the case, it's broke. So obviously, maybe that's not the case at all.
It just felt so weird. It's like, no, don't do it.
It was rushed a bit. He didn't even think about it. And certainly they're not going to just forget about it.
I
mean, certainly maybe they know it's nullified. Maybe he saw it some way. I don't know. We'll need some resolution on that quick entrance. That was a little quick. But Mira, I will say, Mira looked relieved. She looked fucking relieved. She's like, yeah, I'm not pulling more, motherfucker. You Night's Watch fuckers can take this bastard, because I'm not pulling another damn foot. Because that girl has been through hell.
Yeah.
Winter
calluses on top of calluses.
Doc Holiday again. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, sir.
Jaime definitely knows Cersei losing her shit. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I said that during the show. I was like, this is the beginning of the end right here. You can see it in his eyes.
Totally see it, man. And it's good acting on his part. I mean, to really send that message with those facial gestures.
Yep. And but they didn't really clarify the sept thing.
Oh, yeah.
They said they never talked about Tommen, and he said he killed himself, and he wanted to talk about it, but she still didn't take the blame. So I'm still wondering. And now they did mention the reason to go to Highgarden. They got the grain and stuff to feed our people. But they never really mentioned, she did say, are you scared of me? And he said, should I be? So maybe she did admit it was her. I don't know.
Remember we got the question? It's like, who would you like as a mother? And I picked Cersei. Because I was like, oh, she loves her kids so much. And tonight she's like, they're ash now. Let's just move on.
Yeah, should we just sit around and mourn the dead?
What the hell, Cersei?
He betrayed us. Tommen betrayed us.
Yeah.
Right. He had nothing to do with you killing his wife or anything and the whole damn family.
Damn, that let me down. I take that back.
Let's see. Also, Peter Majestic, thank you. Or Majestic, I'm sorry. What are your theories for Arya now that she's going to King's Landing? Will Littlefinger go back too, since we see Arya gets cat's paw? Also, was that dragon flamethrower thing on Euron's ship?
What was that on the front?
Yeah, I mean, that was just a Kraken decoration. I don't know. I'm sure it's a ram. I'm sure it's some kind of ram thing.
Ram,
because it is a warship. So that was probably
Just
what that
ran
was.
the side of another vessel.
Yeah, and it looks like they do have catapults on there. We see that from the trailer sea battle. But as far as the Arya thing, I don't think that she'll make it to King's Landing. I think she's obviously on her way, but something's going to make her turn around and go home. So I don't think she'll make it to King's Landing yet, if she goes at all. But I think something makes her turn around because she does end up home. Peach again, thank you, Peach.
Free Mike Bushnell.
That's right. Did it bother anyone else that Jaime and Cersei had absolutely no conversation about the set blue? Well, yes, exactly. Elephant in the room. I didn't even see your question. I just brought that up.
That's funny.
I thought so. It was odd too, but she did. Now that I think about it, and I'll do a rewatch in more detail and you know, for a review, a proper edited review video. But it was like she did say, "Are you scared of me?" And that made me think, okay, so maybe he does know that she did it.
Right.
But it didn't really make it clear enough to me.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it again either.
Yeah, so I want to kind of understand that better as far as this. Would he even be there knowing what she did and made Tommen kill himself, essentially?
Right. Carol's grabbed one, looks like. Carol Brown, this is from Big Sensi. He says, Q&A, Chris, do you think because Bran was inside the cave when he was marked by the Night's King, wouldn't he have to be south of the wall and grabbed again to break the magic of the wall?
That's a good question, Big Sensi, and that's certainly very viable. I mean,
and
that may
could
be exactly what's going on.
Yeah, why they didn't acknowledge it more.
But I just struggle to come up with with lack of books.
Yeah,
and any kind of source material, or
you
know, what else can break that magic? I mean, is it going to be the horn of Jormungand or something? But if that's the horn that Sam had, that's in the Citadel. You know, he's not going to blow it. Maybe he does. Maybe somebody fucks up and blows that thing, and that's what does it. You know, people will mention the ice dragon thing, so that's a possibility, I guess, but it wouldn't bring the wall down.
Right.
And certainly wouldn't get the entire army through the wall. So, yeah, I mean, that's a good point. It could be that he has to be somewhere and be seen there or touched there in a vision, so maybe that's the case, and maybe that's the quick entrance thing on the arm.
Okay.
So, yeah, maybe that explains the quick entrance. But he should have at least checked his stem.
I totally agree.
Checked his frostbite.
Something. He's slipping.
Let's see.
And what? Benjen. He left him. What's his next play? Will we see him again?
Benjen?
Will we see him again?
Yeah, we'll see him again. He'll have to meet Jon one more time. He has to. I mean, it's just.
When they take the trip.
Yeah, when they went up to the wall in season 1. Think about that. Season 1, they had not all these people. Season 1. So, I mean, it was so foreshadowed they have to meet again some way. Right. So I got a feeling that that's going to happen for sure. And Benjen will do something probably heroic, I'd imagine. Because other than that, he really don't have a big role to play. What can he do as one man on a horse? Yeah. Or one dead man on a horse?
He saved them, you know, the one time.
Cypher, yes. Is Bran sending the pics in the flames? That's what I've always said. I think it's something like that, but I don't necessarily think now, at least in the show, they'll actually explain that, because I expected after the Hound read that in the flames that it would kind of flash over to Bran at Winterfell, or maybe at the wall or something.
Seemed like it would.
Maybe just having a conversation with Ed, looking at a fire or something, but just to kind of give us a clue on that. But now I question it for sure. Shantanu, right? You know your theories. Good for you. Thank you. I guess I'm not sure if you're talking to me or not, but they may be having their own conversation. The White Talks Q&A. Is it possible that Jon gets angry at Littlefinger next episode because Littlefinger tells Jon that he will withdraw the Knights over the Vale unless Jon promises Sansa to him?
Boom.
That's a good question.
That's a play he would make.
It is. If he's the king, and ultimately, you know, I don't know, but would first of all, would he really think that Jon would do that to his sister? Even being king in the North, I don't know. Maybe he thinks that, or maybe he tries to just do this divide thing and thinks that he would consider that because Sansa's becoming a problem.
Right.
And then Jon says, "Fuck you," and choke slams that ass. Good question though.
Thank you, Kitty Merlin. We love you too.
Let's see. Let me double check this really quick. Yes, from Streamlads, Don Weezy.
Don Weezy,
5405. Euron gives Gendry or Arya finds him. Gifts Gendry or Arya finds him. No, I think that actually via filming news that Dany will actually find Gendry in a sense and send Davos. I think it's going to be Davos going to get Gendry from King's Landing.
Right. That's what I believe. Yeah.
So I think Gendry's got a role to play not only in the actual war, but I think it's a political alliance for Dany. She needs those political alliances, and we got to see. Episode 2 is called Stormborn, and that is Dany's nickname, but everything has a double meaning. So think about Storm's End, Stormborn, Gendry. So I think that may come up in episode 2 next week.
Good point, brother.
And we did talk a little bit about that in this week's podcast. And by the way, for anybody new here, I do have a separate podcast channel with Val from McCullough's Geek, Rorist, Kevin from Bat Productions, and Tarzan from Trial by Trivia called the Side Effect Podcast. And this week's is out. And we talk about all Game of Thrones, Con of Thrones as well. And that's on the Side Effect Podcast channel. It's also available on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So you can check that out as well. And we did talk a little bit about the episode titles this week.
Kyle Dubs, James is too easily astounded. I really am, Kyle. I am.
Stephen Hart, how do I get Smokescreen gear? Stephen, you can go to the link in every video, teespring.com/stores/smokescreenvids. And let me say this. I know some of you guys were asking last week. The hats here, I got the hats back on the store after an issue. They're back and fine, but now apparently they're out of the actual fitted hats like we have on here. Yep. So they still have the snapbacks and all that.
Which they rock. I've always liked snapbacks, and I've seen some women say they like putting their ponytail through the thing. So that works.
So those are there, but they're working on or apparently sourcing the new these type of fitted stretch hats. These are new air caps, so they're really good. But they're working on getting those back. So if they don't in a reasonable amount of time, I'll just have to get another hat manufacturer and get it going. But there are other shirts and stuff in there as well. I thought I saw Tarzan.
I did too. I just
roll up in here.
Welcome back,
Tarzan. You missed earlier. Almost 4,000 people, and it's rolling like hell. This is the fastest we've ever seen the chat move.
It's
so
nuts.
Yes. They need Lala and let's see. Carol is holding it down, but it's getting insane.
So the Lord of the Jungle is back.
Let's see here.
Okay.
I think we were there with we were talking about Peach in the elephant room. So thank you, Carla Stark.
Thank you, Carla.
Good night and congrats on all the love tonight. Thank you so much, Carla.
Good night, Carla.
Good night, and thank you for hanging out. And everybody enjoy, by the way, tomorrow the water cooler at work.
Oh man,
it's going to be a big day at corporate offices and workplaces all across the world, for that matter. Or whatever time zone you're in, I guess. But yeah, that's going to be a fun day. Basically, it's a day off where you're just talking all day. You just got to get up and go in to do it.
Hopefully, have a boss that loves God.
Yeah, that would certainly help. Let's see. So thank you, Carla. Elizabeth Johnson, thank you so much. Do you think Littlefinger will kill Brienne with cat's paw? Interesting. It makes me wonder if Littlefinger's done yet. He gets one more victory before he gets taken out.
And Brienne kind of is expendable right now.
And it's interesting. They were talking about her. Like, I have Brienne here to take care of me on the balcony there. So that's a good idea. Good thought.
There I go. I'm getting amazed.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I can't help it. All this.
Cersei's gonna drink wine. Oh shit. Yeah. That's what we were talking about on the podcast yesterday, because Val was like insane with some of the stuff. We were just saying stuff, and she was just like, "Wow, we could." I think she was trolling us though.
That's funny.
Jenna, thank you, Jenna. Phone died earlier, but was that Nymeria? I don't think that was Nymeria. I think it was a wolf in her pack. I don't think they showed Nymeria quite yet, but I think that was basically telling us that yes, she's there.
Very cool.
So I'll watch it again to make sure, but it was really quick. It looked like a regular kind of wolf to me. But Nymeria is coming. Let's see, Daniel Green. Thank you, Daniel. Sam and Jorah relationship will go further than healing Grayscale. Can you talk about the significance of them being in the same place? Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I've always wondered about. We had speculated before, Daniel, on previous streams and Dragon series that we did on the endgame.
Right.
That the grayscale seems to need to be something bigger. Why is it there? I mean, it's not even Jorah in the books, but still, it's there.
It's one of those things.
You know, is it going to be an option against the White Walkers?
Mm-hmm.
You know, something like a biological weapon. But so I don't know. It makes me wonder what the point of that whole thing is if he just gets healed.
I have something maybe.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Breaking theory.
Yeah, Let me throw this at you. Since now Jon has Jorah's sword.
Yes.
Could Sam give him the other one since he would be better wielder than Sam?
Yeah, Heartsbane.
You know?
Yeah, true. Absolutely. That's
that
certainly
could
a
be
possibility.
the significance of those guys meeting up.
Although we did see Sam in the trailer and the pictures that they released before the trailers leaving Old Town. Well, he looked like to be leaving Old Town.
And he had it.
And he had it still wrapped up with him. So
Okay.
I don't know if it'll happen there, but I do think that Heartsbane will come into play for sure. So thank you, Daniel. Dave, go forth. Thank you, Dave.
Seriously.
I think Arya will reverse course when she hooks up with Nymeria. I really enjoy Smokescreen, guys.
Hey,
Rock on.
That could be
That's
what
a good
changes
point.
her course, bro.
Yeah, it reminds her of home, and maybe Nymeria actually knows. You know, maybe Bran can send. You know, maybe she leads.
Dave,
leads
you
Arya-
might be onto it. Seriously.
Yeah, I mean, think about the whole Bran connection there. Maybe that's
Yeah.
the way they connect, and
That-
like, that's cool, man. That's cool. Good
I could
thought,
see
Dave.
that.
Also, Russ Henline or Heinlein, thank you so much, Russ. I do not. He's got the Vulcan thing there. I don't see a question though, so if you have one, please retype that in the chat if you can. Doc Holiday just popped up again. Thank you, Doc. Speaking of the podcast, this stream is so great. Thank you.
Man,
appreciate that.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, enjoying it. This is very, very cool. I mean, we've been streaming now for 10,
Super
12
cool.
weeks at 10 o'clock every Sunday to
Yeah.
kind of get everybody used to this. And season 7 is here, and you guys brought it tonight. Damn
Yes,
sure.
you
Damn
did.
near 4,000 people earlier. And we just it's just awesome. It's just amazing. So
We can
very,
we can
very
feel
cool.
it, man. It's awesome.
There's Jay Scar.
What is up?
Jay Scar, thank you, sir, for helping to moderate as
Really?
well.
Thanks a lot.
From Jeremy James, Q&A, how does Sam's Raven get to Jon in reverse? How does Sam learn about Jon? Well, ravens typically, each raven is trained to go to a specific location, if that's what you're asking. So Citadel sends out ravens to everybody, but one raven is trained to say go to Winterfell.
Right.
One is trained for Dragonstone, for High Garden, all that stuff. One raven per route.
So when Sam started writing the note to be sent,
Yes.
it's going to be sent with a raven that'll take it to the maester.
He'll get the Winterfell raven to at the Ravenry.
Awesome.
If that's what you're asking, I think. So I think that's what you're asking, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Timo Cardell says, interesting. Dragonglass cures grayscale.
Ingesting.
Oh, ingesting dragonglass.
Wow.
That's interesting because that's interesting. I don't know. I mean, I think there's something that cures it because Shireen got cured.
Dragonglass suppository.
Yes, that'll do it. That's like insta heal. I mean, that's straight into the bloodstream.
Sorry, guys. It's late. It's been a long, crazy
yeah,
day.
it has. It's been a long day already, and I still have to watch the show again and take notes and get ready to record a video and get that done tomorrow. Yeah, of course, Mike.
I
Yes.
know, he's fast.
You know, he's on it. K Swag Q&A. Arya kills Jaime, wears his face, and then kills Cersei. Valonqar squared.
Wow.
Yes, that would certainly fit the bill. Absolutely.
I don't want to see that, but
Yeah, I just don't think it would happen only because I think of where Arya's going. We know she's going home. Cersei should last until at least the end of the season, if not early season 8. So I just still see the Jaime thing only because it's been foreshadowed so much. They came into the world together,
Yeah.
and they'll go out together. So, but yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
and that was cool how Arya can, talk like whoever's.
Yeah,
she's
that
wearing
was
the
that's
face.
what I meant to bring up earlier. Actually, but another thing was she even has the voice.
Yeah, and mannerisms and stuff.
Which
It's
we
really
know
cool.
that Jaqen did that at the
Yeah.
House of Black and White, so it makes sense. But I'm glad it was more of a sitting scene. I mean, she did stand up, but it wasn't like he's walking down the hall
No,
and
no.
5 foot sit, 2 or 3 or 4,
Yeah.
whatever she is, as compared to the actual Walter Frey. So you don't got to explain the size thing. GooseCon Gaming, where was Bronn? Good question. I think it was just basically because it was Jaime and Cersei together, and I guess in real life they had some issues, and so they don't really hang out together, Bronn and Lena Headey.
Oh.
So I think that's probably as simple as that, honestly.
Wow.
Apparently they had some issues dating a while back, and they don't really talk to each other, including on set. So I think that's true. It could be a rumor, but I doubt it. We've never seen them in a scene together, so think about that.
Wow. Wow. Look, we got a super chat from Carol Brown again. Hey, Carol, thank you. You don't have to do this, like Chris says.
No.
Thank you so much. Can we talk about how Bran wasn't even ruffled when he Miss Cleo'd Dolores Ed at the gate? I hollered. Miss Cleo. Who the hell is Miss Cleo, damn it?
Yeah, I know that. That's what I was trying to think of, too.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Because I don't remember Bran. Did he say... Oh, no. Yeah, Miss Cleo, the psychic.
Oh, shit, yes.
Yeah, it was like, how do we know? And it's like, you were at the Fist of the First Men. So it does show you how Bran have been seeing something. But it showed him coming out of warging right there.
It really did, yeah.
So I guess he can just do it any time. Maybe they stopped by a weirwood tree and he started it then, whatever. Maybe his sledge weirwood, we don't know. But he did bring up some things and just make Ed think about things like, yeah, okay. So yeah, that's true. That's true. Bran's now, it showed that he's like learned a lot on this trick. It's wherever they were, of course. Then again, they're really not that far from the wall last year, but on the way apparently he's been getting a lot of Matrix downloads. That's right. The way I took that.
Yeah,
because he looked pretty fucking confident.
He really did.
He looked pretty damn confident.
Miss Cleo, that's funny. I forgot about Miss Cleo.
Miss Cleo. Let me double check Streamlabs really quick. Let's see here. Yes, Yvonne Lee. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Yvonne. What up, homies? James, you are a GOT Pro now. Loving it. Q&A. Chris, you said you think the Sand Snakes will be Euron's gift to Cersei, but I think, what about the Dragon's Horn? Do you think it will come into play in the show? That's a good question, but I don't think it will. And only reason I don't is because it only makes sense for it to be the device used to win the King's Moot in the first place. They used the ships as a plot device to win the King's Moot. The horn should have been the plot device there if it was going to be on the show.
You don't see them writing it that way at all?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I just coming into it that late. I mean, they could still do it, yes, technically, and get by with it, but he should have never won the King's Moot without that horn in the first place. That's what made the King's Moot so weak in the eyes of a lot of book readers, because he just came up and said, I murdered my dad, and everybody's like, okay, yeah, he was kind of a cunt. No, in the show, in the books, I mean, he had the horn and proved that he could help them take over the damn world. That's what he wants to do.
Gotcha.
So, all right, I'll tell you what, guys, while we're caught up, let's take another, you know, I know I'm at work in the morning, so we don't want to go too long. I know you guys have to go to sleep as well. Let's take another quick break. I'm getting hoarse already because I'm freaking pumped and talking too much and too loud, too fast. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll come right back and do another session.
Please hang out. Get some more questions, hang guys. Out, we are jacked.
Hang out. Invite your buddies. We'll come and do some more. So, Mike, we're going more than 3 hours. We're already almost 2, so we'll probably get close. So, yeah, give us a couple minutes and invite everybody. Tweet it, whatever. We'll be right back. All right, all right, all right.
We are back.
We're back.
Looks like we lost about 800.
Just checking out other stuff, which is completely understandable.
Yes, it is. Because everybody's hyped up.
Yeah, and sorry guys, we're just stretching because these damn stools are horrible and my throat is actually sore.
We have been on them today.
Yeah, exactly. This has been a hell of a. This is a work day for us.
For real.
But it's awesome at the same time.
And trying to cook.
Aziel Daily, subscribe visitors. Yes, please subscribe. Please create an account and subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. And give us a like and all that good stuff if you enjoy it. And somebody was saying earlier about the music, it was annoying. Sorry, I think I'll change it next week to some GOT themed free music. I just got to be careful about what I use. So that was just some gaming music I had for my gaming channel. So that's just what I've been using. So, let's see here.
Let's see where we stand.
Leanna just subbed. Leanna Haley, holla. Thank you, Leanna. Thank you so much. Liana, very close to Liana. Liana, that's a very cool name, very appropriate.
Yes, it is.
Let's see. Sounds like porn music. Yeah, Mary Elizabeth
Pause it.
Sounds like porn music.
All right. We've got a question from Leslie Powell, Chris. It says, Q&A. Chris and James, will D&D finally give fans their seasonal request for Clegane Bowl? It's looking less and less like it to me.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, I don't think so, only because of the Hound's character arc. And honestly, I'm fine with that. Now, would I like to see it? Absolutely. But the Hound's character arc seems to be going towards, doing something bigger, whether he thinks it's for a god or not, he's seen this thing in the flames, really changes everything. So I don't think so, only because he's part of this bigger thing now. So his mind's off the revenge. Now, does he still hate his brother? Sure. But I don't think he's going to be going after that. Now, if he gets the opportunity, maybe. But could he beat him? Could he beat him? We've been saying this, I think
that's the scary part.
It might take
honestly
a fucking dragon for that son of a bitch. He's bigger and stronger as a dead man than he was in life.
And he has some nice new armor.
Yes.
And I could see him getting
that was very cool.
Alive.
That was very cool when Euron stepped up and he's like, nah. He's like up in there.
Megan Pratt. Here's your shout out.
I saw that fly by.
Megan Pratt.
I think Nightbot probably called her for all the emojis, but she got it in time. Yep, it got. Watch out, Megan. Nightbot will time you out for emojis and caps.
You slipped it in though.
She got it in quick.
All right, pause it. Felicia Amat says Q&A on a scale from 1 to 10. How predictable was the opening scene?
No, I don't know. I would say
I didn't think it was that predictable that we were going to see Red Wedding 2.0. I knew that's where she was.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that it might actually open up with Dany to get that kind of out of the way and just start you off in this emotional roller coaster.
True.
But then again, that was emotional too. So I don't know. I would give it a 5 if you're going on a scale.
Right.
It could have really been anything in this show because everything was important. Wasn't filler. They could have really jumped off on anything, but I really like. So I would have picked either that or Dany, just because of the emotional thing. Because we all felt that sense of revenge with Arya. It was cool. It was funny. And then she said the North remembers and winter came for your ass.
That was so cool, man.
Awesome.
I think we have a super chat. Let's see. We do. Doc Holiday. Thanks again, brother. Doc's a really cool guy.
Yes, thank you, Doc. You don't have to do.
So
you give. You're a Patreon, and as a matter of fact, an executive producer Patreon, and you're every weekend you're tipping in with super chats.
And on his super chat, he says new Streamlab goal, new chairs, and 2 mics.
Yes, you know what?
That's
actually
really cool, Doc.
I was looking at mics yesterday. I do have to order a new mic for sure, and we might as well go ahead and get 2 of them.
That would be super cool.
This mic is bad on one side, and the other one I have is starting to go bad. It was kind of bad on the podcast this week. It wasn't horrible, but it was kind of bassy and odd, and I changed those settings, and so it's time for a new one. So I got mine on a good one, and I'll be ordering that very, very soon.
Let's see what I can find here for you, big throbbing, pulsating brain. All right. All right, here we go.
Oh, shit.
Pause it right there. Arya Singh says, Q&A, do you think Jaime will be Azor Ahai because of the vision Jojen Reed has of his hand burning in Craster's? The same hand Jaime lost. Why put that scene in if not alluding to that?
Yeah, that's interesting. I think it was just because, honestly, I think it was him seeing his own death. And he technically got stabbed, but then Lee put him out of his misery.
Yes.
So the way he was sitting, he was chained up. That was really the only thing they could kind of pull up and make it kind of simple and clean.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Without seeing himself on fire like his whole body. So I think that was alluding to that. But, you know, I mean, that's interesting. But again, Azor Ahai, you know, it's definitely alluding to Jon and Dany, but it's a little bit of everybody. You can make anybody fit that. It's about people coming together.
Hold on. Okay.
No, do you have a...
Yeah, go up 1 second. I just want to hear your take on this. Yeah. I lost it. I want to give credit where credit's due, but the question basically was, why...
I don't know how far it dropped because we still got
I
still got 2,500 people.
Too far. Damn it.
Yes, yes, Tarzan, Audio Technica. Yep, I've looked at a new one
Here
yesterday.
We go. Lucy Brown, Q&A. Who's more strategically valuable to Dany's conquest? Tyrion's diplomacy and historical knowledge, or Varys and his spy network and connections?
That's a good question. I think it's pretty even there, but I would say Tyrion only because she does have, you know, Valyrian, Targaryen crazy in her. So him keeping her in check is very important for her to make the right decisions. But again, without Varys and his network and connection, him probably still controlling the little birds, I would say, you know, I think that's important too. So I would say 50-50, but Tyrion, I would say maybe a slight edge because she can have another way to get information, but he's got to keep her in check, and because, you know, she'll have a tendency to go Mad King.
She really does.
Or Mad Queen. So yeah, I think that's the case. But I mean, that's fairly close.
And I love that table. I know I've said it before, but I do. The table at Dragonstone,
oh, yeah,
Stannis was at,
badass.
but now seeing it with her hands touching it, it just feels natural. Oh, we got Doc Holliday again. Thank you so much, Doc. It says, thank God you said brain, James.
Yeah, the big, throbbing, pulsating brain.
It's so true, though.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean,
oh, no, I'm not saying, no. I'm just a viewer. I'm just a viewer.
No, you put pieces of puzzles together pretty quick. All right, here we go. Janie Blakely again. Q&A. What is Qyburn's relationship to the little birds? Qyburn's relationship to the little birds.
Yeah, I think that's a good question, Janie. I think he's in control somewhat.
Right.
But Varys still, they wouldn't turn on Varys. The little hint last year about when will Lord Varys return.
Yeah.
And, you know, to me, if he shows up or whatever, you know, they're going to be loyal to him over Qyburn. So I'm thinking that probably late season 7, early season 8, that's the end of Qyburn via Varys and the little birds, just like we saw Grand Maester Pycelle. And again, I said this on the podcast yesterday and a couple of times before probably. Apparently, sugar plums is the key to everything.
Don't go.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you finished with that
Yeah,
point? I just
I
didn't
am.
want you to touch that. I saw your hand going. We got Ninja Kiwi 24/7 says Q&A. Who do you think will be the first house to pledge their allegiance to Dany when she lands at Dragonstone? Well, she landed, but who's going to be the first?
Yeah, interesting question. I don't know if they'll, since they've kind of skipped a lot of the smaller houses, you know, in the Reach in that area in the show. I don't really know. I mean, I think she does send out ravens to everybody, and it would make sense that people that remember, or not remember, but heard about Aegon's conquest would immediately come from that area and pledge their support. You know, don't burn us, basically. You know, we're fine with you. We'll follow you. So I think that's I don't know. It may be kind of vague in the show.
So what do you think about these northern houses that are getting these ravens? Some from Dany, some from Cersei. It's like
yeah, exactly. Now the reason
driving them crazy.
But the reason I say this is because we've basically already seen the major houses that we're going to see in the show pledged to Dany because they provided the ships. We saw the Greyjoys. True. Well, half the Greyjoys, the Tyrells, and the Martells.
Yes.
So really, that's already kind of happened. So I think they'll kind of skip that part and basically they don't have time for all these smaller people to come in and whatever. They may do a couple just for shout outs, but.
Do you think Cersei sent a raven to Dragonstone?
Good question.
She's got balls enough to.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. We were talking about on the podcast a little bit. I don't know if she would send just a letter to Dany, or I think Val had brought that up in the podcast that she would probably send somebody's head or something crazy.
Oh, hell yeah!
But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what happens if they even show that. Like Dany sends one out first, and then maybe Cersei replies with some. I don't know. But I don't know if she would just send a letter.
You want to check Streamlabs real quick, just to see. Okay,
yeah, we're good there.
All right. Let's see what I can find here for you.
Male Alyssa.
Yeah.
Apparently, Christopher Barber had something good. I don't know if that was a joke or what.
All right, here we go. Harmless Colt.
Oh, did I lose it?
Boy, it went fast.
It just.
Here we go. Harmless Colt says, Q&A, do you think Bronn will ever get that bigger and better castle? Will he make it to the end? He seems like the type that'd be the last person standing. He kind of does seem like that.
Yeah, I don't think so. Only because
kind of under the radar.
From George R. R. Martin interviews I've read and stuff, Bronn kind of started off as a small character, was initially just there to save Tyrion's life, and then kind of grew into his own and became bigger and bigger. So it was never initially meant to be this big character where he's like the Reign of Castamere,
right? Or
ex-Night's Watch somebody or whatever. So I don't know. I think he may prove sticking around with the Lannisters is probably a bad idea. So I don't know. I'd like to see Bronn last though.
All right, here we go. Roger Pitts, TNA, like Q&A, but more entertaining.
Exactly.
Do you think Mira has Dark Sister?
I don't.
A lot of people think that.
I know, and I did last year because I did this episode, whatever it was, review, and spotted that sword. Ended up being Benji's from the Night's Watch. So you saw the hilt of that one today, or this episode. It's not. And again, swords don't have to necessarily match the books because they don't, like Dawn, for example. But I mean, it just was so nonchalant, leaning against the wall. It should have been in a sheath somewhere. Bloodraven wouldn't have just said nothing about it. Like, look, you'll need this when you go out there. Take this because this is what it does. So only for that reason, I just don't think they're going to do the swords in the show.
Do you see when they take that trek up north, them stumbling into that cave again at all? And maybe somebody retrieving it there.
That's certainly possible, but I don't know if they get that far. That's got to be a long way.
I was actually thinking that before I said it.
Because if you think about Craster's Keep and where it's located, it's kind of like top, almost left of the Fist of the First Men, kind of center of the northern area before you get to the Lands of Always Winter. And then the cave was beyond that somewhere.
Gotcha,
that's a long way. So I'm not sure
they're not going to have to go that far to accomplish.
Because we saw the storm coming towards the wall. Let's see. Dawn is made of rubber, Steve. Yeah, we saw he was watching the Battle of the Bastards again earlier before this episode. We saw that reminded us of the Valyrian steel rubber. Valyrian rubber floppy sword when Jon jumps on the horse.
Raul Blanca says, who has Cat's Paw?
I think Littlefinger has it again right now. I think Ned had it last. And then he probably grabbed it from his, desk there when he was Hand of the King. Mm-hmm. Now, it wasn't that blade that he held to Ned's throat, but I think he's got it back. So I think he does have it, and therefore Arya has to get it if she's been on the cover of these magazines, and that will probably be at Winterfell with Littlefinger. I don't think Littlefinger leaves Winterfell alive.
Max the Monster says...
It is. I'm sorry, I probably moved it, or completely lost it. Sorry, Max the Monster. We had it right here. There it is. Okay.
Grayscale doesn't get cured. Jorah goes mad and is killed. Secrets are in books.
Yeah.
I'm sure he will go mad if he doesn't get cured.
Yeah, but then again, why would he even come back to show up at the Citadel? I think Sam has to discover something, and it's not necessarily just to cure Jorah, but it may give him, whatever he's doing to Jorah, may give him an idea for something with the endgame. So that's got to be where it fits in. Otherwise, Jorah could just run off into the sunset, and the audience could have been left to assume that he just dies or ends up in Old Valyria, whatever it may be. So I think he's got to get cured at the Citadel by Sam.
This was kind of touched on today when we did the stream with Tony Teflon. Joseph Ashley says, Q&A, do you think Podrick will be the next innocent to die?
Yeah, that's interesting. And Tony had a good point about that, about the three big shocking things or whatever.
Yeah.
But, I mean, but Pod...
Does it carry enough weight?
It's not enough weight. I agree. It's not enough weight. And I think Tony may have said that about... I'm not sure about Pod or not, but yeah. Does that carry enough weight to be a big shocking thing? I don't think so.
Right.
But I do worry about Pod in general, just because a lot of people have to go.
Yes.
A lot of people have to go. Let's see here.
Here we go.
Oh,
I'll do. Arya Singh says, Q&A, George R.R. Martin has said that by the end of the series, multiple people will sit on the throne. Do you think it's possible that Dany will sit on the throne, but then maybe be defeated or betrayed by someone?
Certainly possible. I think in that he's referring to, you had Robert. And
what's already
kind of unfolded.
Okay.
But I do think just because Dany's vision, at least in the show, I know it's a lot different in the books, but she chose not to sit on that throne.
Yes, she did.
So I think she may have the opportunity, but she'll choose not to. Now, whether that's regarding Jon or not, I just think in this thing there is no throne, and we've said this before. I think it literally gets melted down by Drogon.
Yeah, and
it completes that circle with the whole Aegon, the thing with Balerion the Black Dread making the damn thing, and then Drogon burning it or melting it down.
It would.
The symbol of the oppression, the patriarchy, and the whole
and
system.
You've said before, not everything has to be symmetrical. Not everything has to be wrapped up with a pretty bow on it. But I could totally see that.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
What she's driving to do anyway.
Right, and it kind of goes back to Quaithe.
It
goes back to Quaithe, I think, in the books. Remember who you are. She thinks she's there to get this, Targaryen dynasty back.
Yes.
When in reality, she's going to save the world and will probably never sit the throne. Or maybe she chooses not to. Maybe she dies. Whatever it is. But I don't think she ends up on the throne. I don't think anybody does, for that matter. Jon won't want it if he even lives, and we'll see. I think it's got to be something where the system starts to change. We did see Meereen when Dany left and left Dario back there, like, you're going to stay and keep the peace while the people elect their new leaders. So already that's changing in her wake. So that's what she is. She's a conqueror, not necessarily a leader.
Alyssa Mock says, Q&A, where is Edmure Tully? Why doesn't Cersei mention Littlefinger and the Vale army during the map scene?
Yeah, that's a great question. I expected to see Edmure Tully after what we just saw in the opening scene. Because he should still be in a dungeon, but I can't remember. Was he still in a dungeon in the Twins, or was he moved to Lannisport or Castle Rock? I can't remember that. If somebody remembers that, let me know. But he should be. I thought Arya would free him, but it seems like I remember now him being moved because he was supposed to be kept in somewhere, but he was moved or something. So I expected to see Edmure released by Arya, but now she's already apparently heading south and left the Twins.
Here we go.
Hard to say.
Matthew, as a party, says Q&A from Melbourne. Awesome. Thank you.
From down under.
By what episode do you think Jon will be in Dragonstone? Also, did Cersei know Tyrion had been made hand of Daenerys? Did they get a raven? Thanks, guys. Love the channel. Thanks for watching down there.
I'm thinking, and thanks, Matthew. From down under, I think probably by episode 3, I think Jon will probably head down. I'm guessing episode 2, he kind of tells everybody what the plan is. He probably received. I'm going to guess he receives that letter from Sam next episode that he sent with the Raven.
Oh, sure, yeah, that makes sense.
And says, okay, I'm going to Dragonstone to get this dragon glass, and maybe at the same time he knows about Dany, so that's probably what happens because we saw Sam start to write it down.
Yeah.
So next episode he gets that. By episode 3 he gets there. And says, look, Dany, we need your dragon glass. Oh, and if you have some dragons too, that would be a hell of a thing. We could use that. So I think that's when it goes down.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say episode 3. And as far as Cersei knowing Tyrion being the hand, I mean, she's got she's got spies. She's got spies herself, and obviously Qyburn now is taking over Varys network, although probably not all of it.
Yeah. So
we'll see how he gets that back, but she would know just due to time passing and getting secrets from little birds, etc. Because Qyburn is the hand of the queen.
Let me ask you this, Chris. Why is Qyburn not making other mountains? I mean, I know he was huge, but I'm saying he can make other awesome
True, I don't know. I mean,
Zombies
but we don't really know what else he's done being kicked out of the Citadel for, too. So we don't know what he did there. So he probably, that was probably his first success with that. So maybe there's just no need for it, or maybe he has plans to do other things, but I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. But then again, now that he is Hand of the King, he's probably got a lot more to do and experiment with people in his office. So, what's up, Sashnik?
Yeah, Narula. Sashank Narula. What's up, guys?
Let's see here.
Let's see. Jesse Knows says, "What's up? What happened to Edmure?"
Yeah, we should see him this season. The actor is in the season, so I guess we're going to see him fairly soon. But I expected to see him tonight after we had the opening we did with Arya, because I expected Arya to free him perhaps. But I don't remember last year if he told Jaime where he was being held. He was still in a dungeon somewhere, so he's got to be let out. I know he's in this season, so it's hard to say. It's got to be fairly soon.
Christian Gutierrez says, "What do you think the Night King wants?"
He wants to meet his maker, possibly.
Right.
Which I think there's more children left at the Isle of Faces. That's our endgame thing. Yep. In our Dragon Raised by Wolves, we talk about that. About where this thing's going to end, possibly what he wants. So I think that he could just want to destroy the world and just kind of get revenge on everybody. But we also think there's a possibility that he wants not only revenge but his humanity back.
Exactly.
Now
it was stolen from him.
Why 8,000 years? Because they're probably aware of prophecy too. Because he's a proto Stark, and he's
for you guys that don't know. There has been a drinking game started on here, not by us.
Yeah, right.
Every time Chris says Proto Stark, everybody drinks.
Apparently, that's the thing now. So, yeah, I think it's one of those things where the timing's right now, because he knows Jon's alive, the prince that was promised, or Dany, or whatever. Let's see, Jaime versus Euron.
That's gonna happen.
Jaime cutting both his hands off. Mike Bushnell. That was cool, yeah, because tonight he did give him and I have two hands.
Yes, he would deserve that.
Absolutely, that would be kind of cool. And I can see Jaime already hates him real good.
And then Theon could make fun of him.
Absolutely.
At least I can eat, motherfucker.
Exactly. Do you think there is a dragon will be a White Walker? I don't. I don't really buy that thing with the white dragon. I don't know. I mean, I could see warging a dragon more than I could see a white dragon. But I don't know. I mean, we saw white giants, so who knows?
Right.
It's just hard to tell because it's a separate magical thing.
All right.
Let's see. How about Kimberly Clifford? Q&A, how do you think the Maesters will react to Dany coming to Westeros? Do you think they will try to downplay her strength or deny that she even has dragons? How would it affect Jorah and Sam? Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think they're going to play in the show that big of a thing with the Maesters and, this supposed anti-dragon thing. I mean, they're going to see this regardless. And regardless of what their little books say and what they think, they're going to see fucking dragons and they're going to have to believe it.
Right. And Marwyn actually downplayed a lot. I didn't like that. I really didn't. I mean, he's like, yes, I believe you.
Yeah, right. But it's always been the end of the world, and
right.
And I think that was more of an end game type of it's going to be bad, but we will survive it. Somebody will survive it.
So you think if there was time and they went into it, the Maesters would downplay the dragons, and that would be how they responded, and they just don't have time in here. Is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think to establish that whole conspiracy thing possibly, which may or may not even be true in the books. They just don't have time to establish that. They're moving really quick here, guys. But they're moving fast.
Oh, Kyle Ellis, Q&A, is the Hound the dog from Old Nan's story?
I've said that before, Kyle. I said how there's a lot of things that mirror the Last Hero tale, and Bran is one of those. Obviously went, and then you had Summer, but now that we saw the trailer with 12 people, usually I think it was 13 and a dog before, but anyway, 12 people were counted in that circle, And the Hound being one of them absolutely mirrors that. It's at least a parallel,
so
if not
cool.
actually supposed to mirror that trek or journey.
Very, very
because
cool.
they did mention with a dog, and then eventually his dog died, which makes me worry about the Hound.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody died in that party except for the last hero, apparently. But again, it is a tale. We'll see how true it is.
Hannibal Lecter said, "Old Nana's Azor High."
All right, so we'll kind of wind it down here in a few minutes, guys. It's getting to be, it's about 12:40 here. Been going about 2 hours and 15 minutes, so I know people's got to work and all that good stuff, but I got to get to work on the actual video and editing, or watching it again, taking notes, editing, and doing the little preview video as well. So we'll take a couple more. Let's see. Carol Brown has one from Zolo. Q&A, do you think it's possible Bloodraven set up Gendry as a smith apprentice for the purpose of the knowledge of Valyrian steel, given Gendry's heritage? That's interesting. I just don't think that the Valyrian steel is, not that it's not going to be a big deal in some sense, but like as far as making it or reforging it or whatever, I think the Nissa story is a recipe for Valyrian steel, fire and blood, the house word of Targaryen. But I don't think that it's necessarily that Bloodraven set that up. I mean, I think he's behind a lot of things, but not necessarily the Gendry thing. I think that was more of a Robert thing, and then for him to later kind of claim, yes, he is a Baratheon. And see, okay,
super chat.
Okay, and also, but really quick, Tarzan had grabbed one from James at James Megan.
Okay.
Or no, is it Megan Loeffler?
Yes.
Q&A, do you think Gendry could be the new one who learns to make dragonglass weapons? That would make him very useful. Certainly possible. I mean, you know, I think they're going to go find dragonglass, obviously a dragonstone, so Gendry could fit into that little thing as far as being a smith. I don't think it takes a lot to, you know, put together a dragonglass, you know, spear or whatever, but he would help in that regard. So maybe he can certainly teach people that. Let's see here. We'll grab a couple more.
I think we got it.
Oh, super chat?
Yeah, I think so. Margaret M. Thank you, Margaret. Oh, no. Yeah, well, do Margaret, then I'll go back.
Oh, thank you, Margaret.
We just found you guys. Great show. Well, thank you so much, Margaret. Tell your friends if you really like it. You know what I mean? The more the merrier. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you so much, Margaret. We appreciate it. Glad to see some new faces up in here. And, I mean, not that we don't like our old faces. That came out wrong. You know what I mean? I'm glad we got some new people joining us. It's very, very cool to see this many people still hanging out. 2,400 viewers almost at you know, 1 o'clock in the morning.
The hype was real.
Absolutely.
Really. And then Doc Holliday dropped another super chat. Thank you so much, Doc. It says Night King wants to know where the horrors are.
Absolutely. He's just trying to answer Tyrion's question. That's all he wants to do is come down and speak to Tyrion and tell him where horrors go, and he'll go back home. That's it. Exactly. You got it solved. That's it. End of show.
He waited till Tyrion got old enough to handle it. Handle the answer.
All right, let's grab one more and we'll get out of here, guys. Because I got to get busy on more video stuff, and it's been a long day. I know you guys have to work, so let's see. Christopher Barber, Q&A Smokescreen. Danny is an anagram for Sir Dane, making Mad King and Ashara. Is Danny a bastard and John the Trueborn? Comment, Germ would love it.
Somebody mentioned that today.
Yeah, I don't. You know, I've talked about this quite a bit. I don't think so. The Dane thing, again, the Dane thing to me is more, and we talked about this in the stream earlier with Tony, I believe. The Dane thing for me is more of, you know, not that they're not important in some way, like, for example, Dawn or whatever, maybe coming into play in the endgame, in the books at least. It was your bleeding star in the show.
Yep.
Essentially. But the Dane thing was more, to me, was a backstory for Ned. I mean, if you think about it, Ned was the second son. He was never going to be Warden of the North, you know, Lord of Winterfell, and that was his backstory, and it shows how he had to, you know, marry for duty, and he was in love with I do think he was in love with Chardane, absolutely. I think they had a kid. Maybe that was the stillborn, perhaps. I don't know, but I think it's more his backstory and how he had to change and sacrifice for his family.
Yeah. To show what kind of guy he has.
Exactly.
Character building.
I think that's essentially the role of House Dane. I just don't think House Dane is as big as people make him out to be, as far as some big end game or some secret child swap, baby swapping door and all that kind of stuff. Let's see here. All right, let's grab.
Am I blushing, Deborah? I didn't realize that.
Just getting hot. All right, let's get one more, and we'll wrap it up at like 12:45. We're right there at it.
Yes.
So everybody can get out of here. these. Let's see. Wait a minute. John. Kantzien. I'm completely butchering that. Kantzien.
Yes.
Kantzien.
Kantzien.
John Kantzien. Sorry, John. It's late. Long day. These Dane theories will never stop. Stop the madness. I agree to it. You know, they're there for a reason, but again, I do. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I do think it's a Ned backstory versus, you know, a secret kid. Yes, Raul. Ed Sheeran is Azor Ahai. He'll just sing, and the Night King will fall. He'll just fall right the fuck over.
Thank you.
Let's see. All right. Death Possum, fuck work tomorrow. Yeah, just you can call in dead or something if you want. You can try it, but I don't know. I'm not telling you to do that. I don't recommend it. Okay, we got a super chat apparently from somebody. Carol saying.
We must have missed one.
Did I miss one?
Let's go back here.
Don't want to do that. What was it? The name, Carol? I didn't. It flashed by so fast. Cat Lover.
Cat Lover, 1981.
I'm sorry, Cat Lover, if we've missed one. I don't see it though. I'm going through the list here. Or was it? Let me check Streamlabs really quick too. I don't want to make sure. I don't want to get off here and forget somebody for damn sure. Okay, it is Streamlabs. Okay, thank you, Carol, for and thank you, Cat Lover, 1981. Q&A: What is going to take for Jaime to give up on Cersei or kill her? What is going to push him over the edge? Yeah, this was my thing. I thought the Sept would do it, like she would blame it on the Tyrells or somebody else or Tyrion or whatever, and that would do it because it killed their last kid. But it looks like it's going to be Euron. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Euron. Something with Euron. Or something she does or whatever with Euron or whatever it may be to somebody. Exactly. So that looks like it's going to be like in the books. You know, he's already gone. He knows about the Kettle Blacks and Lancel Lannister and all that shit. So it looks like he's just stuck around for one more try, and he's going to learn. He's already got the look in his eyes like she's fucking crazy, but he'll stick around. So it looks like it's going to be something with Euron because she's going to backstab Jaime. She's already fallen for Euron. She started smiling a little bit there and getting played already.
She's easy.
That was a little quicker than I expected, admittedly. All right, guys. So I think that's it. I think we're caught up. I don't want to get behind and miss anybody's thing. So thank you guys so much. I think we covered most of it. We went through the main points at least, and a lot of cool things about the Hound. Again, my best thing was the Hound. Yeah. As far as his little storyline, kind of connecting to Arya a little bit. So I think we'll see that reunion. And the only person we really didn't see was Melisandre Bronn and some of the other Sand Snake stuff. We'll see that very soon. Really quick, capital H Q&A. Why was it so easy for Sandor to see in the flames? That's a great question. I think it's probably related to the fact that he started to actually believe, because before, if he wasn't told to believe, and he's been talking to Thoros and Beric so much about the Lord of Light, I think it started, you know, he actually just gave it a chance, and that's kind of what made him actually see something. Kind of like Stannis did earlier on with Melisandre.
Good night, Hoonjob. But yeah, that's what I was thinking.
He started kind of believing, opening his mind to it. All right, guys, so I am very, very hoarse if you can't tell already.
Fall Guy 10. Good night, buddy.
We're going to get out of here, but thank you guys so much for everything. Really appreciate all the support. Really appreciate you guys hanging out. The hype was real. This will go to a video probably a couple hours after it's posted here to actually process, but you know, I know we couldn't see everybody's comments, get everybody's questions, but we did. I hope we got to plenty, and appreciate everybody. Carol Brown, Lala Gig, Jay Scar. Right. Tarzan up in here as well, you know, helping to moderate and grab questions. But thank you guys so much for hanging out and for subscribing. Again, if you have family and friends that enjoy Game of Thrones and Song of Ice and Fire, you know, feel free to subscribe, share the channel, share videos, whatever. It helps out a lot, and appreciate all the likes and the love, and even comments about horrible music. I appreciate those because I'll try to improve on that.
Exactly.
So I don't mind that one bit. So,
and I'd like to say, you know, we work hard, you know, trying to get this set up and get a routine going for you guys, and so we were looking forward to this night 2 months ago.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to tell you, it exceeded my expectations by far.
Oh yeah, by far. I mean, not that we weren't. I mean, we'd be happy with 100 people sitting here, no doubt about it. Hey, damn, hello and bye. I'm so sorry. I'm glad you got to stop in for a second, but yeah, this has been a great night. So thank you guys so much. I mean, it's just awesome to start to see, because you know it gets a little bothersome when you worked at 2.5 years on YouTube now, or close to it, and growing so great, and then they change the algorithm and stuff. But I really appreciate it. Now we see the hype coming in today at the last minute, and very, very cool to see a bunch of you guys hanging out after the show.
Really.
I think we were very close to 4,000 people at one point, if not over. It might have flickered over a couple times. So thank you, Tarzan. Congrats on the record. Yeah, definitely a record breaker for us. So really appreciate it. I can't say that enough. And all you Patreon, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You make this possible. All you guys that subscribe, and not just the donators and stuff like that, but everything as far as YouTube, and the Patreon support. It just wouldn't happen without you guys. So appreciate it so much. Let's keep going. We'll see you guys. Oh, we were over 4,000, Carol says.
I'll be doggone.
So awesome. That's just outstanding. So next week, let's do it again and make it bigger. Let's keep going. And again, look forward to this week. We'll see. I'll try to do probably a quick preview video first on that little bit of footage that comes out after, and try to kind of spot some things in there and see what's going on. And then I'll rewatch the show tonight and take some notes, and then get the review out within a day or two, hopefully. So look for that. Ball Guy 10, what's up, man? I hadn't even seen you tonight. I hadn't seen a lot of names tonight. So anyway, guys, thank you so much again. Thank you for hanging out. Be sure to subscribe to get everything, and click that notification bell, because YouTube refuses to notify even subscribers when I drop a new video. So please click that. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next Sunday. 6 weeks to go. Game of Thrones. Yeah, I know I threw myself.
That's all right.
I'm not even planning. I just go. But yeah, 6 weeks to go, and it's over. So 6 weeks for Game of Thrones Season 7. We'll see you next Sunday, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you.